All right, y'all. Hey, so we're back again. 3NYC. Hello. Hi, everybody. Hi.
Hey.
Hey. So I'm a little bit more organized this week. Okay, as far as the topics is concerned. Okay. All right. So as normal, we're gonna start off with celebrity shit. Per usual, we just gonna go down the line. So we're gonna start off today with Terry Crews. Did you hear what Terry Crews said? Did you see what Terry Crews said?
I didn't hear nothing about him. What happened with him?
Okay, let me pull up the tweets in particular that he said. He pretty much to sum it up, pretty much what he said was that, if black people like don't help, if black people don't, hold on, actually it's right here. Here it goes. It says, okay, defending white supremacy without white people creates black supremacy. Equality is the truth. Like it or not, we are all in this together. And then he also said, what else did he say? He also said, and pretty much, I don't see the tweet up here, but he pretty much said after that, like, that all of the people calling him like a coon, like he said, if somebody wants to call me like a coon or Uncle Tom, that's just pretty much, showing, how easily people want to take away your blackness, and I'm still gonna stand on whatever it is that I said. Terry Crews, to be a coon or to be Uncle Tom, you have to be black.
You gotta be black.
You can't be those things without being black. Nobody's trying to say you're not black. We're saying that you're cooning as a black man for these white people.
Right.
That's what we're saying. There's no such thing as black supremacy.
Right. What the fuck? That's what I was about to say. What the fuck is black supremacy?
What is that? Can I have some?
Right. Can I have some? And
we all heard it before. Never.
Supremacy was a thing then. We wouldn't be in the trouble we are in now. Like,
and my problem is you're leaning on to what what most racist white people think, which is thinking that if y'all make us equal, like white people pretty much think that when we're asking for rights that we're trying to be the new supremacists. Nobody's trying to do that. Just because you uplift black people, that don't mean you got to tear down white people. It's literally putting it on an equal playing field.
Exactly.
Equal playing field.
Opportunity.
That's what I always say. It's not all white people.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's not all of them. We're not against all of you. We're against the ones who still to this day think that we're beneath them.
Right.
Exactly.
We're not. And my thing is this. There's no such thing as there's only one race, which is the human race.
Mm-hmm.
Just that my skin happens to have more melanin than your skin. That is complete. That is the whole difference of me, a white person.
Right.
Most black people were raised not to see color, not to think that you're better than anybody or anybody is beneath you. That's how we were raised. White people weren't raised like that.
Yep. That's why I say all the time, if you ever notice like kids who are mixed and stuff like that, like who have like a little bit of black in them, they normally tend to lean towards their black side a whole lot more because we're more accepting. Like that's why most mixed kids, they hang out normally with the black kids versus white kids, because we are always going to be more accepting than the other side always is. Like,
right.
It's normally how that goes. But Terry Crews been out here cooning up and down the street. Y'all heard about what he did like a while ago, like with Gabrielle Union, like throwing her underneath the bus pretty much, because when she was working for America's Got Talent, and then she ended up leaving because she said, it was a whole bunch of like racist shit going on. And then Terry Crews came out and said, because he's a host on the show, he was like, oh, well, I've never experienced that before, so I don't know what it is that she's talking about. And it's like, my God, even if you didn't experience anything, why are you trying to pretty much make it seem like what she's saying is a lie? When the only people that had your back when you went around talking about that man grabbing your stuffed black woman was the only ones that had your back saying that shit was wrong. And then here go you getting throwing us underneath the bus per usual.
Right, because I feel like Terry Crews is the type of celebrity that do the song and dance for the white people.
I agree.
He's one of those white people.
He's a nigga. He is who Samuel L. Jackson was in Django Unchained.
Right.
Period. He does the dance for the white people. He want to be accepted so bad into these white people, into this white world. You know what I'm saying? But like my thing is, you gotta embrace your blackness, like point blank. You gotta embrace that and defend and recognize that your black people are going through stuff. Like,
Hey, look, what's up?
Portrayed you in White Chicks.
Right. Like
you was Uncle Tom in that situation.
That's a fact.
Y'all remember the WB frog back in the day? That used to be like the WB frog, the green one. That's him. In a hat.
Right, dude.
That's it. Jigging all up and crossing down the damn fucking screen. That's Terry Crews. Period.
Period. Part of this Terry Crews, the person Gabrielle Union may have experienced it from, you may have a different relationship with that person. We're not saying that you're wrong,
right?
For saying that you didn't experience it. What we're saying is, don't downplay the fact that she did.
Don't invalidate her shit. Period. Don't invalidate her fucking experience. Like I said again, especially when Black women was the only one that was coming to your defense when you was talking about you all got all groped up and everybody else was saying that you're a strong big Black man and you shouldn't have lied. Right. That kiss my Black ass. All right. So next we're gonna move on to. So did y'all hear about what B Simone said?
Oh yes. Okay.
Go ahead, Miller, take it. Oh, so real fast. So if y'all don't know what B Simone said, B Simone pretty much was like doing an interview with Nick Cannon, and she pretty much said how she does not want to be with a man like who works a 9 to 5, how she wants to be with a man who's an entrepreneur and is a hustler because she feels like, you know, if he clocks in, then he's not gonna really get her. But go ahead, Miller.
Okay, so first of all, the life that she living now, I think she have every right to feel that way. You know what I'm saying? When I even heard her say that, I didn't even take it as her being on some like fuck everybody that work a 9 to 5, y'all trash. No, it's like I'm on another level now that I can't deal with somebody that's working a 9 to 5 right now. You know what I'm saying? I need somebody that's on my level, making my type of money, living my type of lifestyle for me to even be able to connect with you. Like,
yeah, the way
what the problem is with that. You know what I'm saying?
So, this is what I think it was. Honestly, I don't think it's what she said. I think it's how she said it. Because when I go back and I listen to how she said it, now if she would have said it just how you said it, Miller, like more so like, hey, look, you know, I don't mind nobody who works on this job, but you know, the way that I live and the way that my lifestyle is, you know, I want to kind of deal with somebody else. But again, I think it was the way that she said it. Also, this is the thing. That's how I look at it. Number one, we're all like, we can all have our own preferences on what it is that we want. So if that's what she wants, that's what she wants. But my whole thing was about it is that personally, if I was B Simone, I wouldn't necessarily be saying I don't want somebody who works 9 to 5. I just want somebody that's financially going to meet me. There's plenty of people who clock in. I mean, people don't look at a CEO as clocking in, but that is technically a 9 to 5 when you're an executive. Like people who are executives at, you know, like industry, you know, music industry buildings, like they literally make way more than you, B Simone, and they still have to come in technically and quote unquote, it might not be what you deem as clocking in, but they do have to clock in. People have to come to work. Like I know for a fact that one of my cousins make way more than she does, and she has to go in to work. You know what I'm saying? Now, to me, it's different. Again, like I said, it's one thing if you're saying from a lifestyle point of view, like, hey, I'm the type of person that I'm gonna be up and in and out and stuff like that. And I don't know if a 9 to 5 person can handle that. That's one thing. But personally, the way I look at it, you can have a 9 to 5 and still match you financially and actually even outbest you financially. I think it's more so about the lifestyles. That's what I think. I think that's more so what it is. So as a 9 to 5, when you have something that's a little bit more structured, maybe you feel like I can't deal with somebody that has that. But my thing is, I don't think that it would be impossible for her to find a man that works a 9 to 5 and is still cool with what she do. Because again, as we talked about last week, it's about finding somebody that's going to be able to understand your lifestyle and the way you move. Like for me, like I said, my dude, he understands that I'm busy. I always got some shit to do. I do have a 9 to 5, but I also work. I also do YouTube videos. I do a lot. So I think that's okay. Again, like you said, it's a preference, and I don't think there's anything wrong with her saying that. I just think it's the way that it came. off.
I think it was definitely misunderstood because like
Exactly. Look, even the boss clock saying you ain't lying there.
you know what I'm saying? Like I completely understand. Like, you know, like she if she's an entrepreneur, she's not gonna find time or be happy with a doctor. You know what I'm saying? Doctors probably make way more than motherfucking money than she do. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
All of that. But like I'm breaking it down, looking at it in that sense, like
Like a lifestyle type of thing.
style is
Yeah.
completely different from the
I can
lifestyle
understand that.
you
Right.
know, like
Yeah.
not, I think she have every right to like to say that, but it's like I do get what you're saying. That delivery, it could have been different.
Yeah, that's what
But
I think it is. Yeah.
you
But
know what I'm
like I said, I had a problem with a lot of men jumping in, being like, oh well, what's so bad with da 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 da. Look, she could say whatever the hell it is that she want to say. It's her preference. Just like you might want to be with a light skinned girl with long hair and a fat ass, and that's your fucking preference, right? Okay, but then her preference is to be with a nigga who she feel like is doing the exact same thing as her, and that's fine to me. Again, I think it's just how she said it. I don't have a problem with what she said. It's how it came off. But go ahead, Isis. What was you gonna say?
My thing is, you're the type of person that you're looking for. Like I said, like you said, it's the way she said it, because you can't. I don't want somebody who works a 9 to 5. Your CEO that you're looking for was a 9 to 5er at some point.
Exactly.
Don't forget, and the thing about it is, like, don't forget where you came from. It's like, have your preference. Nobody can knock your preference. That's your personal preference. But like you said, it's what you say and how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
I was more offended with how she said it, because I'm like, hold on, sis. People, you have to learn the business before you can run a business.
Absolutely.
You became an entrepreneur by making jokes. That's just something that's popular right now. 30, 40 years ago, would you have been able to do this?
Right.
And had the preference that you, like I said, have your preference, but it's just people. That's why a lot of people now are becoming under fire, because it's what you say and how you say it.
And also be careful what you ask for. That's all I'm gonna say.
Exactly.
Be careful what you ask for, because you might be able to find a man that's an entrepreneur and making the same amount of money. But somebody says something so true. You can find an entrepreneur that can be quite honest. He does badass fucking business. Does business across the board. You can find an entrepreneur that he does good business, but he ain't got no time for you. He ain't got no time for you. He ain't got no time for y'all. So have what you want, but always know, be careful what the fuck you wish for.
And make sure you're bringing to the table just as much as they're bringing into the table, because a CEO don't want somebody who, just like you don't want somebody that's working a 9 to 5, a CEO don't want, maybe a CEO who's at a certain status level don't want somebody like you with your reputation.
Right.
Get it from,
but I think that's okay though, because like at the end of the day, what she want is who she want. You know what I'm saying? I don't think she was really knocking nobody. She know where she came from. That bitch was sleeping in the car and shit, whatever. She came from the slums. You know what I'm saying? She know what's up. I think people just took it away because of where their status is. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. Some people did. No. Some men definitely jumped out the window. Not all, but some of them definitely took it way too much to heart. And I think it goes back to the overall to what we always talk about, me and you guys all the time. You, like you just said, what are you bringing to the table too? What are you bringing to the table? We both got to be able to be bringing something to the table that's pretty much almost close to being equal. And that doesn't matter what it is, whether you work a 9 to 5, whether you working at McDonald's, it doesn't matter where you work.
Whatever. No matter what
Right.
If you in a relationship with somebody and you investing your time in somebody, you gonna want to be matching what you doing.
Absolutely.
Saying like it's not gonna be no, like even if she did decide to go with somebody that was working a 9 to 5, right? At some point that's not gonna work out. Period. Because her lifestyle is completely different. Like they not gonna be happy. He gonna be upset that she don't got no time for him. He gonna feel inferior to her. You know what I'm saying? She gonna be like, damn, I feel like I'm paying all of this and I'm doing all of that. At one point, it's not gonna work. That's why I get what she's saying. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
I know what you're saying. Again, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. That's it.
Like I used to say when we all worked at the same old job together, I always say I would never date somebody at this job because I know how much you make. I know what my goals are. I know what I'm trying to do, not to come off as a gold digger, but if that's how you want to take it that way. But you got to be able to match me. And at that time, I wasn't in the same position as the people who was attracted to me. I was above you. Not to say that I'm better than you, but I know how much you make. So you could probably bring something to the table, but if you can't match me.
Thanks, Loki. We gonna get you in here because we need a man's perspective. So we gonna get you in here. Just don't worry, we're gonna get you in here. I'm talking about Loki. That's my nigga right there. He's dope as hell. Y'all need to go and watch like his little live streams. He be cracking me the fuck up. He cheated last time because I played Jeopardy on his channel and he cheated and he gave it to somebody else. But it's cool. We're here. We're here. Shout out to him. But yeah. So in general, like I said, I think it depends on what it is. So
like this, my preference. I don't like light-skinned men. Not to say that light-skinned men ain't attractive. It's just I don't like light-skinned men. That's not what I'm attracted to. But that don't make me. There's some fine ass light-skinned men out in this world. Yeah. But I just, hey, everybody has their preference. Like you said, a 9-to-5 dude can't. He don't have the availability that she has, and that's
right. And that's okay. Let's get to the shits though. Milla, I need you to defend your queen. Okay. I need you, because if y'all don't know, like I said, Milla is a barb, so I need her to defend her queen. Let's get to it. Y'all already know what's going on. So go ahead, Milla. Tell me. What did you think? What was in your mind?
But what did I think about the song? What did I think about?
We're gonna get to the song in a second. The whole situation. Yeah. When you first heard that they was collaborating, what did you think?
I thought it was tricky. I ain't gonna lie. I did think that was a tricky situation. But listen, Onika goes into things knowing. Okay? Onika don't go into nothing without knowing something or without, you know what I'm saying? Like,
shout out to the barbs, yo.
Like you know what I'm saying? I feel like even if you watch, like, did y'all watch her live, like, with him? Did y'all watch the live?
Mm-mm.
Now, everybody, the whole thing that goes over everybody's head is that she collabed with 6ix9ine the Snitch, right? Okay? But if you listen to the live, she don't really agree with none of the shit that nigga is really talking about. Other than the fact that some niggas in the industry is snitches. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. But that's
I feel like she got a great deal of intel on that. You know what I'm saying?
So I don't know how true this is, but I just finished listening to the Joe Budden podcast, and Joe Budden was pretty much saying that, like, the real reason for real that most people probably don't know why Nicki really did the track, it's not because she really likes him. It's because there's a guy, like, one of the, like, heads of, like, Universal Music or whatever, pretty much, like, reached out to her and pretty much asked her if she will hop on the track and do it. And I guess the guy or whatever that reached out to her allegedly is like top 3 probably most influential people, like, in the music industry, period. Like, he's the head of a whole ass fucking, music group. And so the way that he was putting it, he pretty much was trying to make it seem like, I mean, she could have said no, but she really can't say no to him at the same fucking time. Right. So that's what I heard. I don't know how true that is.
I also think
I think she's pregnant too.
I also think
to answer your question. I'm sorry. Huh? Go off topic, Cliff, to answer your question.
I'm sorry, Cliff said in the comments, why wouldn't you date someone who makes the same amount as you? So she just wants to address that real fast.
It wasn't so much of making the same amount as me. It's we work together. That's a clash. Money wise, I know what I'm trying to do. And it was I just don't want to.
Okay, and that's that on that.
Period. And the person, it's not even because it's other factors. It's not just the money, it's other factors. The one person that tried to get with me, Jamila, and Jalissa, you have children. And I'm not knocking people who have children.
Wait, who? Wait, don't say no name for who? Huh?
I put your name on here, but
I'll text your phone.
Okay. All right. I don't know who the fuck you're talking about, but all right. Short man?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
It wasn't just about the money. Like, didn't have a job and I had a job. I dated people who were hustlers and it's not about the money thing. It's just I'm not dating somebody. I don't want to date somebody who makes less than me. You
That's
gotta
right, y'all horse. She said you ain't gotta explain yourself. Just be great. Period. 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 Poo. But let's go back to the Nicki thing real fast. So, okay, so I heard so we hear what you said about that. So what you think about the song? Because I didn't listen to the song. I read her lyrics and they are cute, but I didn't listen to the song because I refuse to give that man any time, date, or my money. That's him. You know, right. I know it's not her song.
Overall, the song is not. Honestly, the song ain't that great. Now,
is he needed on a song because she did it by herself?
Not needed. All he do is really scream and talk some bullshit on the songs. He really not talking about nothing. Nicki, however, be talking her shit. And when you dissect her lyrics, that bitch is talking some shit like on that. It don't really like out like it don't really sound like nothing because it's short and whatever. It's not normal Nicki, but it's like that bitch came for some necks, and that's just Nika. That's my mother. That's my mom. You know what I'm saying? That's how you do it.
Like, all right, and just to put it out there again for y'all who don't know, like where people is coming from, or at least, well, Milla is from uptown. Wait, no, not uptown.
I'm from Harlem,
right? And then Isis is from Brooklyn, and I'm from Brooklyn too. So I'm just want to give y'all like perspective. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Isis. Go ahead. What you think?
Oh no, I said when my high school history teacher said, "Bed-Stuy, do or die." Me personally, no, I didn't listen to the song. I heard about it. When I first heard about it, my facial expression spoke for me because I know my face. I was like, bitch, what? Same reaction I had when I was on World Star and I seen that he was working with Akon. Seriously, nigga? That's the first thing that came out of my mouth. Now, how I look at it as it's a publicity stunt. That's how I look at it. Like, you know, he a snitch. He's a known snitch. He went to jail. I stayed with the whole trial, everything, because I just stayed with it because I'm like
entertaining. No, it was definitely entertaining. I'm not gonna lie.
It's just like a show. It was just like a show. Mm-hmm. But I live by the code. Snitches get stitches. I'm sorry. I live by that and I will die by that. I tell that to my siblings who are 16, 12, and about to be 10. Snitches get stitches. Like, we don't play them games over here. And you told on somebody, even though it was a fucked up situation, you still snitch. I can't. There's no way for me to defend you on that. Now, as far as Nicki, I'm not.
Huh? Is about the bag.
Yeah, I say she's about the bag, but it might hurt her. It might help her. It might hurt her. I don't know. I know
everybody hate Nicki just as much as they hate 6ix9ine right now. For what?
Yeah.
No, but everybody hate Nicki for whatever.
It's like you married to a pedophile and you doing a song with a snitch. Like, what respect do you want from me?
This is the thing. So this is my whole thing about it. From the 6ix9ine,
I love her music. I will not take away from the type of rapper.
That's not big.
I will give people credit where credit is due. Mm-hmm. My thing is everything outside of that.
Right.
That's the issue that I have with her. Has nothing to do with her music. I will blast Nicki Minaj all day. The song she did with Gucci, that's my shit. My shit. I still listen to Your Love was my ringtone as a teenager for the longest for my boyfriend. So I love Nicki Minaj. I'm not gonna take away from her music or whatever. She's talented. I give her that. My issue is everything outside of that.
So this is how I look at it. Okay, so when I first seen it, I was just like you said, I was just like, Nicki, you know, I'm just gonna be honestly completely real. This for real is my last straw with Nicki as far as her as a person, not her music, but I'm saying me personally as a person. I can't deal with her anymore because I feel like, okay, before I get into Nicki, let me talk about 6ix9ine. I've never even talked about him on my channel before. This is the first time I've ever talked about him because, as you say, Isis, you know the way that I'm brought up. There's just certain shit that We don't do like there's just some shit. I'm sorry, brought up a certain way, whether or not
Jamila or not the same way. I know Jamila.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so a lot of us, the majority, a lot of us is pretty much brought up like that. So it's like it's certain things that, regardless of how much older I get, there's certain morals that I was like literally brought up in that I'm not shaking and I'm not breaking for nobody, whether it's Nicki, Beyonce, I don't give a fuck who it is, because at the end of the day, there's real consequences to the shit that people do. And when people do it, and especially like with me trying to go to law school and stuff like that, like I really see the impact of bullshit like this at the end of the day. And all it really gets down to is you not really what it is that you did as a person. That's all. And to me, fuck all of the old, the street codes and stuff like that aside, from just a human's point of view, just a logical point of view, what you did was pretty much take no accountability for what the fuck it is that you did, and you pushed it on everybody else. And now you're like, oh, my hands are now clean. That's not how this shit fucking work. At the end of the day, I knew from the very beginning 6ix9ine was not a street person. We all knew that. If you have any eyes, you knew that. So I wasn't surprised how any of this shit ended. But at the end of the day, if you gonna act like you in this shit, then be in this shit. We're not playing no games around these fucking parts. You got yourself involved in more than just the music part. That's the thing. If you wanted them to just be your front, that's one thing. But you yourself got involved in multiple fucking things and then turned around and tried to play, oh my gosh, well, they fucked my baby mom and they did this, that, and third. But if you're so street, then you handle it the street way. Period. It's not no, oh, I'm telling, what you say?
Niggas fuck your baby mom. You just fuck your baby mom.
That's how it goes out. If you really want to be out here, somebody fucks your baby mom and they kidnap you, you handle it your fucking self. That's what, if you want to be street, that's what you do. So that's my whole thing on 6ix9ine. I really don't got nothing for him. He's going to do whatever it is that he can do to get clout. Something else that somebody brought up about him that is so true. He plays on shit about kids all the time. The fact that you even want to name this song Trolls when you know that there's a movie that just came out. Plus, all of that shit is all trying to attract kids. And to me, that goes into a whole deeper conversation that I think I'll be flagged for if I talk about on YouTube. But Nicki in particular, when it came to her, like I said, when I seen it, to me, it was just personally my last straw, because I don't really care who called you. At the end of the day, there's certain things, I'm just saying that me personally as a person, money or not, I'm not doing. And that's just me. And that's okay. It's okay for her to do that. That's her prerogative. She has to deal with that. She got to lay down that night. She got a husband that's in the streets. Because that's what I think about. How is her husband viewing this when he was in the streets and he went to jail? Like, I'm just wondering how he looks and how the people surrounding him looks. That's just what I think about. But let her do her. But I personally cannot sit down and deal with that shit. I'm not about to sit up here and support no bullshit. And the thing, more than anything, take away the song, what really bothers me the most is the fact that you're like, part of these proceeds is gonna go to the bill refund. Not Nicki, I'm talking about him. So you got your nerve to pretty much be the reason why so many black men are in jail right now.
That's my issue.
You want to raise money to help get black men out of jail. Like, make that make sense. Make that shit make fucking sense. It don't at the end of the day. And
the funny thing about it is that he tried to donate to something and they straight turned down his donation. $100,000 he was trying to donate. And they said no. That goes to tell you.
But okay, so
I'm sorry, real fast. Hold on. Because John Horst said, call me Mr. Snitchy Snitch if they extorted me. This is my thing. If you are a law-abiding citizen, to me, I don't care. I would be telling too. If I'm a regular 9-to-5 law-abiding citizen, yes, you are supposed to tell. But when you say that you're in the streets, that's not how we handle shit. And I'm tired of everybody walking around and trying to tippy-toe around that shit. That's not how this shit work if you're in the streets. You do not fucking tell. If you are a law-abiding citizen, then John Horst, you are absolutely right to call the cops. I would do the same thing because I'm a law-abiding citizen. But if I'm out in these streets doing dirt, just like everybody the fuck else, I'm gonna handle that shit myself. And that's where I stand, and that's where I land on that shit. Period.
Out there really active like that? Was he really in the streets? Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like his whole thing was a facade. He hung out with street niggas. He hung out in the hood, probably with some street people, but he really wasn't street. So why expect him to handle it in the street way? Like, That's where I'm going with it. Like
I wasn't surprised. Like, no, that's the thing. I'm gonna say I was not surprised. I wasn't surprised, but
right.
at the same time, it's still not right. Just because I'm not surprised, that doesn't make it right. You get what I'm saying? So I wasn't surprised. If anything, I was looking at Shadi and them like, y'all didn't expect this to happen. That's
Exactly.
y'all not expecting this to happen.
Yes, that's
Yeah, like
you know why? You know why? Because you know what my boyfriend tells me all the time? He tells me, I know who my mans are. I know who to take with me when I go do certain shit.
right.
Exactly.
I know what friends. I know if I'm with Jamila and Jalissa, I get into some shit, they gonna have my fucking back. I know I have a friend, one of my best friends. She's not like that. So I know, like she's feisty, but she's not a fighter. So if I get into some shit and she's around, I don't expect her to jump in. I'm not gonna get mad at her for not jumping in. But if I'm with y'all two and some shit pops off and y'all don't jump in, I have an issue with y'all now. Because there's certain people, like he tells me that all the time. It's certain people that you should know your people. You should know who around you.
Absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. That's where Shadi and them messed up completely. And so I do not feel bad for those people because y'all knew that this little nigga was not about this shit and y'all was doing certain things in front of him, knowing damn well what could possibly come back on y'all. So when it comes to that, I don't feel bad. I don't. I really do not. I don't. I just find it hypocritical. That's all. I just find it hypocritical that you want to raise this money. That it just doesn't make any sense. Like you could have just put out the song. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like just put the song out and just let it be that. Don't try to tie in the movement with it. That's my problem. Just don't do that. Because I know you don't care. So just stop. Like I know you don't really care. And when I mean him, not her. I mean him.
In that aspect, I think that whole movement being tied into it was really Nicki. Because Nicki always been about the movements. You know what I'm saying? Always been about it. Like, had Nicki not even been on that track, not had been involved with this at all, this nigga was not talking about donating nothing at all. Like, you ain't hear about him donating or nothing. You ain't hear about him, like, being about the movement. I think what she did was super smart, because what she did was she took that whole situation that's getting probably just as much like views as the movement, and she put it with the movement. You know what I'm saying? That's what I look at it as. That's how I look at it.
Right.
Like, we're gonna this energy and this whole thing, we're gonna be entertaining this. Let's entertain it for a cause. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. So like I said, so again, I'm not mad. Nicki, go get your bag and everything like that. Like I said, it's nothing that I personally would do personally, but go get your bag. Like I said, I see it, sis. And this is the whole thing. This is one thing I made a whole like 2-part video about me understanding the moves that Nicki makes, even though it might not be the most popular. Like, just to take a side step real fast, when Starships had came out all them years ago, and I hated that song. I hated it, but I understood it. I understood the move. You doing a pop step. So of course, a girl like me, or the girls who listen to you growing up, when all you doing is straight rapping, of course I'm not gonna like it, but it's all for a purpose. So I get the moves that Nicki make. I get it. Like, if she didn't, she wouldn't be in the position that she was, she's now, if she wouldn't make certain moves. And a lot of moves people aren't gonna agree with, and that's fine. And I think now Nicki is sitting in the fact that it's okay if people don't like her. I think before it bothered her a lot. Clearly, it bothered her a lot. But I think she's getting to the point where she can just sit in the fact that, you know what, people ain't gonna like me. It is what it is. But like you said, Isis, I'm not gonna take nothing away from Nicki. Nicki is iconic. Like, what the fuck? Literally iconic. Like, love her down. I literally have Nicki days all the fucking time. I love her down. I just need her to just, whatever little error that she's coming up with, you did this song with him, please leave him the fuck out of it. Like, do that song and just be done. Like, I don't, that did 2 songs. Like, that's enough. I don't want to hear him on this album, Nicki. I don't want to hear this nigga on this album.
That's a fact. Like,
I don't want to hear him.
Don't need that. Like, she don't need that. She don't need that.
That's the
thing. You don't need it. I look at it as she did him a favor, because she was
absolutely
that was definitely took that away from her. Whatever, however way you choose to get your bag, get your bag.
Right.
I'm not taking away from that. I just that's not something that I would have done. I don't care who called me. Could have been this. I wasn't doing it.
So let's move on real fast. This is something really small, but this is something really, really, really small. Don't worry, John Horse. We're getting to that stuff. We're just knocking the celebrity portion out, and then we're gonna get to the real shit. I'm telling you, we're gonna get there in a second. We do celebrity bullshit first, and then we get to the real topics like afterwards, because we don't want to conjoin the two, because nobody got time for that. So we're gonna get there. I promise you, we're gonna get there. But
get there. Don't worry.
But
we're gonna address it.
We're gonna address it. Don't worry. But real fast, I just wanted to say, so I stopped following the Shade Room like a long time ago, because I just feel like the Shade Room is a very, very toxic place. And I just want to say real fast, for the record, like, Baller Alert currently is amazing. Like, ever since everything's happened, the only thing that Baller Alert posts has everything to do with the movement. They don't post shit that don't have anything to do with the movement. If it ain't got something to do with Black Lives Matter, they haven't been posting anything. Like, anything that I found out, like, even with the whole thing, like, with Nicki and them, I had to go to the Shade Room page to find out. So I just want to say shout out to Baller Alert for, like, keeping that shit up top, because the Shade Room is whatever. Like, they're messy as fuck. Like, I get why their name is the Shade Room. They get on my fucking nerves sometimes. But anyway, finally, before we get to the real shit, did y'all see what happened with Terrence J and Marlon Wayans and them arguing?
No, I heard about it, but I didn't watch it.
Okay, so pretty much what it was is, okay, Terrence J was pretty much saying that, like, Marlon Wayans pretty much didn't really have to do much, you know, compared to him, because, you know, of who his brother was, and how nobody in his family really had to do but so much, because, you know, they had Keenan, you know, to pretty much back him up, you know, to, you know, make him famous and stuff. And Marlon's pretty much saying, like, well, I mean, yeah, he did help us, but number one, that's what he's supposed to do. You're supposed to put your family on. But second of all, we've all done our own things. And Terrence J was just pretty much trying to say, like, you ain't work as hard as me. You didn't have to put in as much work as me. So people was dragging Terrence J, because, nigga, you're talking to Marlon Wayans. Like,
Marlon Wayans, like, who are you compared to Marlon? Like, what?
I used to call him Gulp. Ask my mom. When I was younger, I used to call Terrence J Gulp.
Can I ask something? What's wrong with, if I'm on top, what's wrong with bringing my family up with me?
Let's talk.
Let's really talk about it, because Jim Carrey,
he definitely worked hard.
Stop being me. Jim Carrey recently came out and said he thanked Keenan Wayans, because Keenan, when nobody else in the industry, white of same color skin as him, would give him a chance, that man gave him a chance.
And Living Color sure did.
That they paved the way for him. If I'm up, everybody around me gonna be up. If I'm eating, my team is eating. That includes my friends, very close friends, and family. So don't knock that man because his family helped him.
That's how.
50 million of them motherfuckers. First of all, and y'all not just gonna eat off of me. I'm gonna pave the way for y'all, and y'all take it where y'all want to take it.
Right.
One of them who's acting, some of them are producing, some of them there's a like that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
How you talking about he's talking about they family put him on. Do you really know the Wayans family then?
Right.
The Wayans family didn't just hand them shit.
Come on.
The Wayans family took. Keenan had Damon, Marlon, Sean, all of them. He had all of them brothers audition, apply,
sure did.
To do as a regular ass fucking coming up actor to become who they are.
And quiet as kept.
Just as hard, if not twice as hard.
And let me tell you something, quiet as kept, because I'm more on the younger side. So by the time, like, I was born and, like, watching TV, and Living Color was off of TV, even though I knew what it was, because, like, tapes and DVDs. So growing up, I didn't know the Wayans brothers from being Keenan Ivory younger brother. I knew the Wayans brothers from the Wayans brothers show. Okay, I knew Damon Wayans from My Wife and Kids. I knew all of these people separately for their talents. You know, the Wayans brothers doing White Chicks. So I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. I didn't even know that they had a brother, you know, that was super, super big. Like I said, it wasn't until I got a little bit older that I realized, oh, okay, you know, so the sister is this and this, that, and the third. But I always knew them individually for their own individual talents. It was never some, okay, well, they're all just one big family. No, if anything, that family is talented as hell, and they all got some good ass fucking genes. Like, they're all funny as hell. Like, that's crazy. But I've never looked at it like, oh, well, this person put this on. And even if that's the case, that's how it's supposed to be. Like you said, white people do it all the time. It's generational wealth. That's how this shit works. You get put on, then I help you on, then you help the next person on. That's the whole point of you being able to have these platforms. Like, even like, but I don't care. I got like 2, 3, 4 fucking subscribers. But the point of the matter is, if I can help Jamila has a makeup channel. So if I can help put Jamila on and help her, get some more subscribers, I'm gonna do that. Isis don't have a YouTube channel, but she's on here. She wants to talk. Whoever I can help put on, I'm gonna help. That's the whole point. That's what pause. That's what Low Key T does. Shout out to him. He has a platform and he literally reached out to me via DM because he seen one of my videos to help me with my subscribers. Like, that's what you're supposed to fucking do. And I know Low Key would curse somebody the fuck out if they ever said something to him about him helping other fucking people. So everybody shut the fuck up. Like, everybody shut up.
And then Terrence J, like, honestly, we respect what you have done, but you can't even say you
don't have the right to come at that man. Point blank, period.
Of anybody else.
Not even as much.
Like, come on, you gotta chill out. Like,
I'm not saying that it's easier. It's a little bit easier, but the way that Terrence J was trying to make it seem, he was trying to make it seem like he pretty much did nothing at all other than be his brother, and that's not the case. Just because you have someone that can help you get to a certain area, you have to be able to sustain that shit on your own. Marlon Wayans has been able to sustain his career without his brother. Like I just said, I didn't even know who the fuck his brother was. He's been able to sustain it on his own for a long time. How many damn Netflix things, although I do not watch it, how many damn Netflix things does Marlon Wayans have on? He has so many fucking shows and movies. So yes, it does help you. But Terrence J was trying to make it seem like he didn't like it was just nothing that he did pretty much, and it was just completely all on his brother. And that's not the case at all. And especially when you Black, even when you do have family, shit still ain't fucking easy. You still gotta bust your fucking ass.
That's a fact.
Period. But all right, let's get to the more serious shit now.
Okay.
All right. So where should we fucking start here? All right. Let's start with defunding the police.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the biggest issue right now with this is that people don't understand what that means. So I'm going to lay it out plain and simple. Defunding the police simply means to reallocate resources. And the fact that people do not get that, or people are choosing not to get that, and it's blowing my mind because even Black people are choosing not to get that for some fucking reason. It's not that hard really to understand. You're taking a whole lot of fucking money and you're putting it towards shit that's not needed, such as tanks and bazookas and AR-15s, and you're taking money, and it makes put it like this. It's just as simple. This is how I explained this to somebody, to my mom, because my mom didn't get it. So she called me and she asked me. I said, Mommy, it's like this. There's no reason that in the whole city's budget, 90% of it should be going to the police, 2% should be going to housing, 2% should be going to education. That's what it pretty much means. You need to fix that. That needs to be fixed. Mm-hmm. That's what it pretty much means. It doesn't mean necessarily. Now, Minneapolis took it a step further, okay? And they completely took away the police, all right? And they doing community policing. But I just wanted to ask y'all, how do y'all feel about defunding the police? And then how do y'all feel about possibly removing the police altogether and replacing it with more like community policing?
I agree with defunding the police. I mean, I said that completely wrong. I don't agree with completely defunding the police, because I just feel like, listen, 95% of the money should go to schools, after school programs, the community itself. Right. Y'all should be getting that. What the fuck do y'all need that much money for? Y'all already get paid based on from our taxes. What the fuck else do y'all need? Now, as far, what was the other question?
And how do you feel about community policing? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm smoking off screen. I don't want to smoke on screen.
Yeah. Policing, I feel, may become a bigger issue.
Right.
Because of the
Karens and the Joes.
Karens and the Dans and the Joes and the Sarahs and shit like that. Mm-hmm. Because I sat here yesterday and watched so many videos of Karens, like they have a whole
page.
And I'll be the fuck up because they get put in their place. That I feel like that will become a problem. Now, what I feel should happen is police. Number one, police should have to go to college for 4 years. I feel like the requirements to become a police officer should change slightly. Like there should be more requirements. There should be more that you have to go through. There should be more education because I've watched plenty of videos where a person is asking the police, questions, and the police is like that you don't have that right when they actually do have that right. If you if I ask for something, if I request a sergeant, the first thing you need to do is go call a sergeant. Don't agitate me. Don't push me and push me and push me to agitate me so that now I can get charged with disorderly conduct or resisting arrest and shit like that. That's where I stand with it.
Right. No, I agree with that. Like, not so much defund the police, to restructure the police system.
Exactly. It should be more of a restructure of, and the requirements. It should be just as hard to be a police officer that it is to become a doctor and a lawyer. I'm sorry, 'cause y'all have people lives and y'all supposed to protect and serve. Y'all not protecting and serving.
Y'all literally just slaughtering us. Period. Y'all just slaughtering, and so it needs to be restructured. They need to start getting in the laws, like as far as what the police be doing to the black, to people in general. You know what I'm saying? But
They should
specifically
be.
black
They
people.
should be prosecuted to the fullest extent. That's how I see it. If they commit a crime, because and I want police officers to stop saying I am the law. No, you're not the law. You're supposed to enforce the law. There's a big difference.
Bitch, I'll beat your ass. So
You take off that belt and you take off that outfit. That's what it is. It's an outfit. I can go buy the same one from Party City. You take that off and you a regular fucking civilian just like I am.
That's why I say it should be restructured. They need to really get and root in onto the like, get these people. They need to get consequences put on them. You know what I'm saying? They need to be held accountable for what they doing. That's what needs to happen. That's what has to start. Fuck defunding them, because at the end of the day, we need authority, right? Any place, we got crazies everywhere. You know what I'm saying? We need some type of authority, but we need to make sure that authority is properly trained. Period.
And I think and like I said, what I think I do think that like we need to probably explain a little bit more to people like what defunding the police means, because it do just sound like, oh, just take away all the money and then take them all out, but it's really not about that. It's like what you said about Jamila, taking that money and reallocating it, so putting it towards training, the correct training. And like one thing that y'all said I agree 1,010% with is the fact that they need to go to school and their training needs to be longer. There's no reason in hell that, like we keep saying, as a lawyer, everybody in this courtroom but you and the defendant probably has had to go to school for God knows how long for us to be up in here, when you're the reason why we're even in this courtroom. Meaning you're the arresting officer, so you're the reason why we're all here, but we all know more than you. How does that make sense? It doesn't make sense. You can't be divvying out laws that you don't know. Like it doesn't even make sense. Like you said, how many videos my dude, he watches videos all the time of, people getting pulled over by the police, but like people who like know, their rights and stuff. And when they be sitting there spitting it out to them, they be so confused. They don't know. Y'all don't know. So at the end of the day,
they be mad as fuck.
Like they be pissed.
Be enforcing than you do.
Exactly. Like it doesn't make any fucking sense. So I think off top, the biggest thing needs to be, these people need to go to school. They need to have a whole damn near college education. Go to school for 4 years. If as a lawyer I have to go to school for 3, you as officer needs to go for 4. Period. You need to go for at least 4 years for you to be able to even come out here and to talk. Because like you said, Jamila, it's not that we don't need people. We do need people. And I don't think any black person is saying that. I don't think a lot of black people are saying like, oh, get rid of them altogether and let's just have none at all. It's not that. It's just, if you're going to do your job, do it fucking correctly. Do it correctly. Now, as far as community policing goes, I think that there is a way to do that in conjunction with the actual police department, because I've seen it in some other cities, and it, to a degree, it kind of sort of works, but it depends on how you're running it and how this is going. Because the point of the matter is, whether or not you have actual police in the neighborhood, you need people who know where they are, know the people, know the lingo, know who is who. Like me and you talk, like we all talk about all the time. Shout out to Officer Norman. Officer Norman is a man who literally takes his time to get to know the people in the neighborhood. You're policing people and you don't know who they are. That's the problem. You out here policing, how you policing in Bed-Stuy and you all the way from like Astoria. It don't work like that. You don't understand what the fuck these people are talking about. You don't understand their lingo. You don't understand what they talk. You don't understand what name you can say real fast to make some little boy stop what it is that he's doing, to be like, oh, is that you talking about? Do you want me to call Miss Anime? Do you want me to call Miss Anime? Like just simple shit like that.
That'll get them report in the neighborhood so that they have to police. You know what I'm
saying? That's like, the point.
That's the goal. Like they have to police. So maybe it should be a fucking requirement or something for these officers. Like on top of their college education for 4 years, they should have like wherever they're gonna be stationed to go work. They need to be doing community service or something, some type of like
I feel like you might not have to live in the neighborhood, but you need to either live around it somewhere, or you need to, like you said, you need to spend a certain amount of time in this neighborhood doing certain things. That's how it should go. So like you said, Mila, taking money, when I think about defunding the police, that's the thing I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about taking the money and taking it away from all of these fucking machinery that y'all don't fucking need.
Right.
Why is $9 billion going to NYPD? For why?
Right, like that don't make no
sense.
What
kind of sense does that make? When the schools in the hood, for the most part, are fucking terrible. Like, come on. Like, come the fuck on. Like, there's no reason. There's no fucking reason.
Have to read textbooks. There's no reason why a teacher should have to buy their own supplies or supplies and stuff like that. There's no reason for that
at all.
When I was in school, my teachers didn't ask for nothing. But if come to find out, I'm very close with one of my elementary school teachers. I love that lady to death, Mrs. Folk. She taught me, she taught my mother, she taught my aunt. That's how far my family goes in with that school. She told me, she was like, no, there's times where I had to buy my own supplies for y'all, my own chalk. Which is chalk you could get from the dollar store, but that's still the point that she had to come out of her own pocket, where she has her own bills. She has children that she has to help take care of. She has grandchildren. Why should that money have to come out of her pocket?
Right.
Why is it that every year I'm seeing my godson's parents, my own parents, because I have younger siblings, they're going off on they're posting the school list that the teachers are asking for things for, and some of these teachers are asking for some specific shit. Like, oh, it has to be a box of Kleenex. It has to be this brand of hand sanitizer. It has to be this brand of paper towels and shit like that. Like, it shouldn't have to come from the parent. Parents, yeah, you should, be willing to help and, give to your kids' schools or whatever, but it shouldn't have to be that way.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Funding, like you said, 90-something% of the funding is going to the police. For what? What are they doing with it?
Killing us. They're using it to kill us. That's what they're doing. I
want to see what this is. If you getting how many billions of dollars, we should be able to see the breakdown of where this money is going to.
Period. It makes absolutely it makes absolutely no fucking sense. Like, it makes absolutely no fucking sense. It pisses me off. But speaking of that, about the education, because that's gonna bring me right into the next topic, which is y'all ever hear of like the prison to school pipeline? So pretty much saying how like having the presence of like cops and stuff like that in school, how that presence and that interaction that kids have with police officers in school, how that kind of trickles out onto the streets and eventually trickles down, to how they deal with them, which kind of leads eventually to prison. This is how I look at that. Me and my boyfriend had a long conversation about this yesterday. I find it very ironic that the majority of these mass shootings that happens are normally in white schools. But for some fucking reason, there's only police in our schools.
We got to go through I had to go through a metal detector every day of high school.
Every day of my life. Every day.
I went to Bread and Roses High School in Harlem, right on 135th in St. Nick. We had metal detectors. And I ain't never go through in my 4 years of high school, I ain't never see nobody pull out no gun, nobody pull out no knife.
I went to John Jay. I went to secondary school for law in John Jay. And walked out protesting the fact that, remember that whole cell phone thing in school?
Mm-hmm.
We walked out protesting that. That's the other than normal school fights,
Right.
nothing else happened in my school. And it was four different schools in that one building. Four schools. It was law, research, journalism, and there was another school in there. And the most thing that happened was a fight.
Nothing ever happened other than fights. That's a fact. My building had, it was bread and roses, my whole high school, and then two, it was some other charter school, and then like a little middle school or something in it. I
Mm-hmm.
swear to God, the only thing that ever happened was fights. That
Yep.
was it, and it was barely ever that. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? School was type dry, was lit, but it was type dry as far as
Yep.
fighting goes. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But so like, I don't understand why we needed metal detectors when there was never nothing other than a little scruffle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you got like maybe what 12, 15, 15 to 20 NYPD security officers in there. What you
Right.
need?
Why? Like, and to me, and I don't think people like really think about the way that you are literally conditioning kids from a young age,
Mm-hmm.
their interaction with police. There's no reason, and actually I'm going to get on something too for a second that kind of blends into this, but there's no reason that in school children, that's the interaction that they should be having with cops. Why the fuck, just because this child is in class maybe acting up a little bit, why are you sending them to the police? Because they thought, because they're in third, fourth grade and they won't shut up and they acting up a little bit in class. So now they now have to go into the custody of police. And that then starts that fucking cycle that unfortunately for a lot of people never fucking ends. It's absolutely ridiculous. And one thing that somebody said I really agree with is, one thing I will say is that as a society, people need to stop acting like it's police jobs to do everything. A police officer is not a mental health person. They're not a fucking guidance counselor. And the problem is when people don't want to deal with somebody, that's the first thing you want to do is call the fucking cops. If a child is in class acting up, you need to be calling somebody's guidance counselor. If it's a lot, you need to be go getting a health, a mental health professional, not sending them to the fucking police. It doesn't, that, who is that helping?
First thing they do call security. You know what I'm saying? As soon as something, call security. Like why are we as little kids watching these fucking security guards walk around in their uniforms with fucking
With
guns on?
guns. Come on.
Why is that even in the
And I can
building?
say this for me. When I was in high school, the couple times I did get into something, I was cool with the school safety because they did school safety will walk you down the hall and be like, "Why are you doing that? You know that's not you."
Right.
Right.
You know the kids, and that's the thing that I liked about the school safety. On the other hand, not saying the police, I'm talking about school safety. The school security guards that are not the police officers, they're just strictly school safety. They got to know the kids because they're
Right.
the ones you see when you come in the door. They're the ones you see when you leave. When you going from class to class, those are the ones you see. Those are the ones that get to know you.
Right.
That's what they need to do with the police. You need to get to know these people. Because when I got suspended, even my mother, when they called my mother, and she was like, "You sure you got the right child?" Because she knew I wasn't like that. But even the school security guard, she caught me in the hallway like, "Really? Really?" When I had to come back up to the school with my mother, she stopped my mother in the hallway and said, "I got on her." Not because it was just school safety. That lady cared.
Right.
Care.
Like, that's the one thing I could say about the middle school. Although I personally had a terrible, middle school was complete hell for me, but that's because I moved from New York to a completely different state. But point of the matter is, the school, like the security, like you said, that we had or whatever, because of the town, that I lived in or whatever, which is very, 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 very small or whatever. It ain't nothing but a whole bunch of fucking black people in it. Okay. The police pretty much was cool with everybody. So whenever it is that you got kicked out of class or whatever, or security came and got you, like you said, ISIS, they would come, be like, "All right, come on, let's go." And they would go, and they would literally every single time they would sit with us, whoever it was, on the auditorium steps. And for the rest of that period, they would sit there and talk to them, ask them what's going on in your life, why you acting like that, come on, da 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 da. Like, that's how it is that you're supposed to be handling children. These are not grown ass people. These are not adults out in the world who should know better. These are kids that are still learning. And when you are imposing police officers and all of this visual, you're putting this in front of them, that's fucking them up. And it's not just fucking them, you're literally fucking with how they see them. with how kids see police. Like before they even have any type of interaction, you're literally fucking up with the perception that they have with them, and vice versa. It makes no fucking sense. Like you said last time, that little post of when do I go from being cute to being a criminal? That's what it is. And you having police in the schools, that's what's going on. And it's literally doing nothing but making shit worse. It's no reason. Like you said, the whole time that I was in school, when I went to high school, the high school that I went to was a majority white school. But the school that I was coming from, the middle school I was coming from, was pretty much all predominantly Black, neighborhood. And my class was the first class that was going to be integrating with this new school. And this new school was pretty much like in a very, very, very white, affluent neighborhood. And it wasn't until our school integrated that they added in, metal detectors and stuff like that. But maybe 2-3 years into there was a white little boy who came in the school with a gun. That's from that neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all complained for years about how, we was going to come up here and they was going to get your daughters pregnant and all of this other crazy ass shit. It's not us that y'all need to be trying to fucking protect. I mean, I don't want to say trying to protect, but it's not us that needs people in the schools. And I don't get how the ones that should be, y'all still don't get that.
Mm-hmm. We're not the ones who should be targeted when it comes to policing schools.
Yes, right. We are the wrong ones.
Right.
First of all, half of us, that's our ass if we not in school, if we not in class, if we not doing what?
Right, like we didn't even have the liberty to act up. Come on. Like if I acted up too bad in school, my mother
would about y'all. But like I said, when I was in junior high school, I went to PS 138 in Crown Heights. My mother went to that school. My aunts went to that school. Mm-hmm. My uncles went to that school. Me and my sister. When I say a whole generations went to that school, which means they knew my mother. It wasn't until high school when a teacher threatened to call my mother that I said, call my mother. When my elementary school teacher said, I'm gonna call your mother,
I started crying, boo-hooing.
Don't call her.
Now, please, please.
Please don't call her. Please don't call her. Please don't call her. I'm begging you. Please don't call her. When I got in high school, I would call my mother. I don't care. Call her. Right. I don't care. Call her. That's what. But it's like it's just it doesn't make sense. And Cliff said something. You don't mind buying. I don't mind buying. If I had a kid and they went to school, I wouldn't mind buying the supplies. Mm-hmm. The point is, because I know there's other kids that didn't have. Like I said, I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth. My mother did the best that she could. I went to Head Start in New York City. My mother and my stepfather still help out with Head Start. And none of us are in Head Start anymore. The youngest is about to be 10. It's it's just like it shouldn't
have to be that way.
Funding should come from the state.
Yeah, should be provided already.
It makes no sense that cops are getting 95% of the budget when in schools are lacking. All these after school programs, if y'all notice, a lot of like the crime rate and stuff like that went up when they took away after school programs.
That's how it be. And even here where I live now, they just a couple months ago, they took away the Boys and Girls Club, the only Boys and Girls Club that they had in this area. Now, what the fuck are those kids supposed to do that was going there after school? Right. All they gonna do is roam the streets now, which means they're gonna eventually, some of them, lead into getting into troubles. That's the problem. Like you said, when I was younger, I had something to do all the time. Every day. Every summer, I had something to do.
I went to school Monday through Friday and after school. On Saturdays, I had activities. Sunday was the only really day that I had to rest. And guess what? Sunday is you getting ready for the next school week.
That's a fact.
So it was always something to do. Always something to do.
And even
my mother was the queen of, you bored? I got something for you to do. Go to wipe down these baseboards. Go wipe down my walls. Go clean my bathroom. Go fold all this laundry. Go do this. Go do that. Mm-hmm. No. And then, like you said, you brought up these mass shootings. And the first thing they want to say is, they had mental health issues. Maybe that's why some of these black kids are acting out in school. You don't know what's going on at home. You don't know what's going on in their personal life. You don't know what happened to them.
Let me tell you something.
Bro, built on the white people got a little problem that could be fixed, and the black people are just animals. That's what it all come down to. That's what this whole shit was built on. You know what I'm saying? And need some guard dogs in all of the schools for us. animals. That's
And
what they're saying.
right, and like you said, Isis, at the end of the day, like it wasn't really until I hit middle school that I really started to understand that concept of people really come like people really be coming from some broken ass homes in some
Mhm.
broken ass situations, and then for those same kids to have to come to school,
Right.
you can't if you just seen
You
that your
understand?
mom is selling herself on the fucking corner.
Mhm.
You think you come into school and you worried about doing some work if you didn't even have anything to eat last night or tonight or that morning. You think you come into school sitting up here worrying about some shit like that? That's why at the end of the day, poverty, poor and lack of education, all of that shit leads to crime. It all adds up at the end of the day. It all adds up. And
Mhm.
like you said, the fact that we need more guidance counselors. We need more mental health people that are in these schools to talk and help these fucking kids.
Mhm.
Like these kids is hurting out here. These kids are thoroughly hurting out here. Like and like I don't know if this was like if it was like this for y'all when y'all was growing up, but like when I was growing up, like in New York, going to school and stuff like that, the special ed class was not people who were dumb. Those were people who were bad. It was people
People
who were bad.
they
People
was
who were
bad
bad and the teachers didn't want to deal with.
ass little kids. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, when I was growing up, when I was younger, the special ed class was literally for kids who had issues, like disabilities. That's what I was when I was in junior high school and stuff like that. The kids that were in the special ed classes had disabilities.
see, in my schools and every single from elementary and up, it was maybe one or two of them in those
Right.
classes that
Yep.
had an activity, but
Mm-hmm.
the rest was a bunch of people, was a bunch of like just kids with behavior issues.
Literally. That's how it
And
was for me.
just
Mm-hmm.
terrorizing people, just want to fight. That's
Mm-hmm.
all it was.
Uh-huh.
Like you
Because
said, the one person in there that was, you know what I'm saying, that was
yeah.
disabled.
Mm-hmm.
The rest was just
Like my sister, they wanted to put my sister in a special class
mhm,
because she doesn't talk much, she doesn't do this, she doesn't, she's antisocial and da, da. She don't fucking like people. Okay?
mhm,
Mm-hmm.
My sister don't like people. She's a loner, and it's fine. Like she's not like that with me, but I know that about my sister. So I'm
right.
telling my mom, it's nothing. We all telling her it's nothing the fuck wrong. She just don't like fucking being around people. That's her
Mm-hmm.
fucking preference. That don't mean. But they wanted to put her in a special class just for. Oh, she doesn't talk much in class. She doesn't
Yeah.
really participate much. Da, da, da. But if you
Mm-hmm.
look at her grades, my sister's a straight A student.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. And like I said, I literally learned that because like in when I was like in elementary or whatever, so like third, fourth, fifth grade, like they gave when your teacher wasn't there, either you had a substitute or you was like or your class was split up and put into other classes. Is that how it was for y'all too?
Did
yeah,
that
Yeah, so the one time I got split up and I got put in a special ed class, and that's literally when I realized like, oh, like you said, it was like one or two people that really had disabilities. Everybody else was literally just bad as hell, like just bad, like you said, as far as behavioral issues, like they weren't not smart. They would get the work and get it done like that,
mhm,
hand it back to the teacher, and then just go and talk for the rest of the class. I would be like, oh, this is why when I walk by, y'all don't be doing anything because
right,
y'all get easy ass work, get it done, and then sit here for the rest of the day because the rest of the school don't want to deal with y'all. And it's
mhm,
like literally that's a bigger issue with about just how we discard people like that we just in society that we don't know how to deal with. We just
mhm,
completely just discard them like, oh, you want to know what, you don't fit in and you're not stepping step by step by step, so no, you go to the side, and then that makes those people sad, depressed, and a whole longer line of bullshit comes after that. It's just the way
mhm.
that we do our youth is ridiculous. I'm telling you now. I'm
The way
telling you.
the way that this fucking that this country was just built. It's like it's built to for us to fail, literally. Like
Mm-hmm.
it.
All right, so I want to ask y'all. This is something. It's like kind of sort of funny. So let me tell you. So y'all have all seen like the different Karen videos, right? Like
Yeah.
the Central Park Karen, and so y'all both seen Central Park Karen?
Yes.
So I
Absolutely.
want y'all to tell me what would y'all do if y'all had a Karen. So let's say the Central Park thing happened to y'all. How would
Mhm.
y'all have handled that versus the way that our brother handled it? How would you handle a Karen, or what would you tell another black woman how to handle a Karen?
Me
it
personally.
depends on the situation, honestly, because I've watched one where this lady cut this lady off and told, she cut the lady off. The black lady cut the white lady off. The white lady followed her, and it was a whole big thing. The white lady goes, "Oh, I'm going to the police station." So
I said, stop for 1 second. Mr. John Horse, I want to say this right now. We are not no political commentary. So all of the Republican and Democrat, we don't do all of that up on this channel. I'm even confused. I'm confused as to what you're talking about. Like, I don't even understand where all of this is coming from. I'm a little bit confused, but like, nobody's talking about what Democrats do and Republicans do. Not one person on here said anything about how anybody should do anything. I don't care who does it. I just need somebody to do it. I just need somebody to do it. I don't care who does it. Just somebody. Fix the damn funding. Fix the fucking schools. And I don't care how it gets done. I don't care who do it. Just somebody do it. But shout out to you, John Horse. I'm just confused because I'm looking at your comments and I'm so confused. But
like my mother used to say back in the day, I don't give a damn who washed them goddamn dishes.
As long as it get done. Thank you. As long as it get done.
Well, everybody's getting up and everybody's gonna start cleaning up.
Yeah, because nobody on here is all like this for Democrats, all like this for Republicans. I'm all like this for my people. I'm all like this for my people. So whatever's gonna get my people to where they need to be, that's who I'm for. And it's just that simple. Period. So go ahead. But thank you, John Horse. I appreciate you though.
What was I saying? Yo, I'll be losing.
Oh, we're talking about the
So yeah, so they went to the police station and the white lady had called the black lady a nigga. So they get to the police station and the white lady just starts breaking down. And I'm sorry, I just want all this looting and stuff to stop going on. She said, "So you call me a nigga? That gives you the right to call me a nigga?" Like, and in the end, and I don't know what happened in the end because the video cut, but it depends on the situation. Like there was one where I watched, there was a lady walked in the gas station and telling the man, don't serve me before you serve this lady because I'm white and all this other stuff and da 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 da. And she got close to the girl. She was calling the girl all types of names, telling her to go back to her country. The girl's like, I'm American. I was born here. So what if I have an accent? I was born here. Right. Whatever. And the lady and the girl ended up slapping the shit out of her.
I would have been her. I know what you're talking about. At the 7-Eleven, I would have
I'm going to smack the shit out of you. I'm going to smack the shit out. So
don't let your president get you fucked up. How many times do we got to tell someone?
My husband wants to come out and say she got mental health issues. I don't give a fuck about your bitch mental health issues.
Put her on the leash then, bitch.
Did.
Why is she out and about by herself then? If you know she got mental issue, why is she out and about by herself?
Right. Exactly. So, in the situation I probably would have recorded it as well. Because when that happened and I showed my boyfriend a video, I said, now, what if it was a person? What if the guy behind the camera was somebody who worked for the park?
Right.
My thing is, the rules of the ramble. You take your dog there every day, I'm assuming. If not damn near every day. Either way, the rules of the ramble. So your dog is supposed to be on the leash at all times. And because my thing is, the only reason you said what you said is because you felt like, if I call the cops and tell them it's a black man attacking me and my dog, they're going to get here faster than if I just say there's someone in the park attacking me. So I would have handled it the same way he did. I would have kept everything on camera. Everything.
Recorded the whole thing.
I would have recorded the entire situation, because at the end of the day, what people have to realize is that Black people, we're not just recording things just for clout. We're recording to protect ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
You watch a lot of these videos of police officers pulling over people and people recording it. A lot of them will say, I'm recording this to protect myself.
I just came back from Charlotte and I had to drive all the way down there and back. Do you know how terrified me and my dude was every fucking time we saw a fucking police car? Like, literally, both of our hearts, he was like, is your heart racing? I'm like, bruh, my heart just went through the fucking roof.
That happens.
It's fucking terrifying. It's very terrifying.
Somebody said it's sad that as Black people, anytime we see the cop lights in our rear view mirror, or we see a cop in our rear view mirror, we start thinking, is my license suspended? Do I have my seatbelt on? Do I have my registration? Is everything in order? Da, da, da. At the beginning of this month, I had to redo my registration, my insurance, and my inspection.
Yeah, I gotta redo my.
And I told my boyfriend, I'm afraid. I said, right now, especially with election year, because election year they go harder than they would normally go because they want to get the numbers up. And I told him, I don't want to go anywhere until we get the car fixed. We were able to get everything done in one day because I just got on the computer, did the registration, did the insurance, and he went up the street and got the inspection done. But I had to explain, and I'm like, it's not that I'm scared of the police, but I'm scared of the police, if that makes sense. I fear for my life and I fear for his life. We're two black people in a nice car, decent car, and we've, like I said on the last video, we've gotten pulled over and asked whose car is this?
Right, like I never drove a day in life, and I'm terrified whenever I'm driving with my brother, any one of my brothers, or my father, or even my mother. You know what I'm saying? I'm terrified when a police car pull up and or pull us over and stuff. Should I've been in an Uber a few times and got pulled over in an Uber. And the first, I'm not even driving. This ain't even nothing to do with me. Uber technically could protect me, right? But no, I'm over here really shaking in my boots, sitting in the back seat of the car, wondering like, am I about to get shot? Are they going to suspect I'm doing something? Why did they even pull us over? Is it because of me?
I've gotten pulled over and they asked me for my ID, and I'm in the passenger seat.
Me too. Last time I got pulled over, that's exactly what happened. I was in the passenger seat. He's like, "Oh well, can I see like your do you have any type of ID on you?" And it's like, my guy, I'm not even the one that's driving.
Right?
Like,
I don't even need my ID.
What do you need to see my ID for? I'm not driving. I'm just a passenger. I've been pulled over in a Lyft before too.
Right. It's fucking crazy. It's crazy at the end of the day. And yeah, so it's no reason why people like we really should be like this fucking scared. Like you said, I'm not scared, but I am at the same time. It's a half and half thing.
I'm not scared because I know my shit is together, but I'm scared because this could be
it doesn't matter. A lot of times that doesn't matter.
Like we got stopped before. We got stopped before, and the cop said your trunk light is out. You know, the light right above your license plate. He said that's out. Gave us a ticket for some whole other shit. When we got the ticket in the mail, it was for some whole other shit. And the same day we got pulled over, we pulled up. We was near a gas station. Pulled to the gas station. There was nothing wrong with the light. You just wanted to pull me over. You ran my shit, and you just wanted to pull me over for no reason.
We
that's the issue that I have. That's
all the time. How many times, like you said, how many times do y'all be riding around, and even if y'all don't get pulled over, you see a cop pull over to drive behind you because you know he's checking your shit.
Yeah,
you know he's checking your shit just to check, just to it's a decent ass car.
They do that shit. Like it was one time we got pulled over and we didn't know his license was suspended. License is suspended or whatever. Never got a ticket in the mail. The next day is when we got the letter from PennDOT saying that his license was suspended. Never got the warning that if you don't pay this ticket, your license is gonna be suspended. Just got the letter. Okay. Pulled us over for no fucking reason. Oh, I ran your plates. What are you running my plates for? There's nothing wrong with my plates. There's nothing wrong with my insurance. There's nothing wrong with anything else. You just decided to get behind me because you have nothing else better to fucking do. You want to run my shit because you think I'm a criminal. You're assuming I'm a criminal. That's what people ask. What crime did I commit? You cannot pull somebody over and just give me license and registration. What crime are you? What crime did you expect me of?
Right.
Because you have to, in order for you to detain somebody, you have to suspect them of a crime. There's certain, and these cops, that's the problem. They've been getting away with shit for so long that they just continuously do it, and then they run into a motherfucker that know they fucking rights. And when that happens, what do? They say slick shit. They do slick shit to try to agitate you, to get you to that point, so they can have a reason to now arrest you. No.
So yeah, so let me move on to the white people's president. And you guys heard about, well, I guess today he walked it back, but y'all heard about how he said he was going to go to Tulsa, Oklahoma, whatever, for his first rally on Juneteenth. So he's doing it on Juneteenth in Tulsa, which is where Black Wall Street was. If y'all know Black Wall Street was an extremely affluent place in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It was burnt the fuck down to the crisp by the KKK and a whole bunch of other angry ass white people because they was mad that black people had a whole lot of money and they the fuck didn't. I'm just tired of all of these little dog whistles that he's doing, because at this point my thing is, why don't you just come out and say it? Like, cut the bullshit, cut all of the middleman stuff and the little itty bitty things that you're saying here and there. Just come right out and say it. Just come right out and say it, because that it's like you're insulting our intelligence. Like you think we can't put two and two together.
Right.
Like we're not as dumb as you are.
Like I
That's
was watching a video and he was saying something. Somebody asked him a question. Oh, what crime did you expect Obama of? Why do you feel he should be, prosecuted or whatever? And the crime was Obamagate. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, it's not a thing. It's not a thing. It's something that they literally made up. They literally made up that Obamagate is literally the fact that somebody made up that they had something on him.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally all it is. There's nothing to it.
And I was thinking about this the other day. So because this man, his whole 8 years in office, did not have one scandal. In 8 years, this is the first president in 8 years. When his term, he did not have a scandal. That's what y'all gonna come up with. You gotta do better. I'm sorry, do better. Do better.
I'm just tired of them trying to like insult our fucking intelligence at this point. That's my whole thing. Like, stop fucking playing with us. We're not stupid. Like, clearly we're not stupid. Like, that's one thing that Black people were not, and y'all try to think that we're. But clearly, one thing we're not is stupid. Like, we're not. We're actually extremely amazing. For us to be able to come from where we've come from as fast as we have, we're pretty fucking amazing. So just kind of cut the shit.
And like my thing is, I want Black people to stop saying I'm not my ancestors.
Right. I don't like that either. At first, I used to like it, but I heard somebody break down why that isn't cool, and I'm starting to understand.
I want people to start saying I stand on the shoulders of my ancestors and think of yourself as the next level.
Right.
Because everything that we've tried, that they've done. They've tried it. They've protested. And the thing about it is, I was reading, like they said, Martin Luther King marched for so many times, and this changed. Rosa Parks, when that happened, they boycotted the buses for.
Yeah, I seen that for like 900 days.
And changes were made. So we're not, granted, we're not like our ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
We are them, and we're taking it to the next level.
Right.
Because the thing is, when people say
couldn't do. That we're doing shit that they couldn't do because of the time frame that they lived in.
Exactly. Yeah. Because that's gonna say, because that's what people say when people say we're not our ancestors. People normally say it as if like, oh, like, well, we're not just going to let y'all do whatever. Which I get that sentiment, but like you said, you got to frame it in the context of the time that you're at. Because I guarantee you, give it 50, 100 years from now, they're gonna be saying the same thing about us. They're gonna say, "There's no way in hell I would have been letting the police do this, that, and the third to us. Like, they got us fucked up. Like, there's no way in hell." You gotta, like you said, put it in context. Like you said, we are
the narrative of what you're saying.
We stand on the shoulders of our ancestors, point blank period. Because if it wasn't for them, for the shit that they did, whether or not you agree with protesting or whatever, everything that they did got us to where we are now. So to some degree, the shit did fucking work. And we're not going to disrespect them.
You know what I want to give a shout out to specifically? The white millennials.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because not only are y'all fighting with us, y'all fighting against your parents.
Yep.
Fighting against your friends.
Shout out to our white allies.
Family members.
Shout out
y'all
to our white
standing with us, and it is greatly appreciated.
Beautiful, because it's a time like where you never would have thought.
No.
Right. Like, especially like.
And this just further backs the fact that racism is something that's taught and not that you're born with. I watch a video of this girl argue her parents down.
Wait, I saw a video with the boy. He's walking out his house and shit. His parents kicked him out because he called them out on their racism.
Yeah.
And white he called them out and they kicked him out the house.
And you wanna know what's crazy? Like back, like I had watched, like I've like read like a lot of books and stuff like that, like on the civil rights movement. But like one of the things that people might not understand, like as far as Martin Luther King, like like when you see, like all of the videos of people, like them sitting there but them getting their ass beat and they not doing anything about it. There was a method to the madness. He purposefully did that because he wanted to be able to show other like white Americans who maybe like either didn't know or didn't care, to know whatever. Like, look, even with us sitting here peacefully, not doing anything at all, they're still whooping our ass. And a lot of the history books and documentaries show that once they started doing that, that's when attraction picked up, because you got to start showing the inhumanity in a different type of way. And I feel like that's kind of what happened, like with the video with George Floyd at the end of the day. there is no gray in between. There is really no gray that you can sit up there and, for most part, I mean, of course, if you want to find it, you can, but I'm saying for the most part, there is no gray area in that video for you to be like, oh, well, you know, he could have did this or he could have that. There's no in between for that video in particular. One thing I do want to touch on real fast, and I'm not going to call her out on her YouTube name because that's not the type of person I am, but there is a woman that I used to be subscribed to, but I had to unsubscribe for her because of her handling of the way that she feels Black women should be responding to the whole George Floyd thing.
Pause.
And her whole thing is she feels as if Black women shouldn't really be saying anything at all because I guess George Floyd didn't have the greatest relationship like with his kids. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, he had multiple baby mamas or some shit like that. I had to unsubscribe from her simply because she did multiple videos like this. And my whole thing is you yourself can decide not to support. That's fine. But to actively go out of your way to tell other people to not, because at the end of the day, it's not just about him. It's bigger than that. That's just my opinion. So you can feel the way it is that you feel, but to actively encourage people to not try to step in and try to help the movement overall, that's the issue. The divisiveness, we do not need that shit right now between Black men and Black women. We do not need that shit right now. We don't need nobody trying to come in and tell us, oh, well, he was this bad person. I don't give a fuck how many baby moms he had. He did not deserve to die. I don't give a fuck.
Hold on. What the fuck does that have to do with that cop? What does it have to do with it? I'm sick of that shit too. When a Black person gets killed and they want to put up the worst picture of that person,
right?
In the news, they want to share that picture. No, let's not. Stop doing that. Stop doing that because at the end of the day, this person lost his life for a cop's mistake. You came at this. The person that you was coming after wasn't even him.
Right.
So fuck her. I don't care. Fuck her. I don't know her name. Fuck her.
Yeah, I had to unsubscribe because I just,
No, I was saying, yeah.
And that's the problem. Stop. The whole point is supposed to bring unity together so that it could be equal amongst for people of color and white people.
Right. At the end of
people of color, it's not just Black people, it's Mexicans, it's Chinese people, because they're attacking all of us at this point.
Right. And it's not to take away
flaws. They use it like certain like little flaws to deflect from the overall big picture.
Exactly.
Okay. If he had an issue with his kids and stuff, that's great. There's also white people that have issues with their kids, right? But the white father ain't getting pulled over by the cops, point blank, period, and ain't getting killed just because he white. No, the black father is getting pulled over by the cops and getting killed because he's Black. You know what I'm saying?
And again, and it's not to take away the fact that there's definitely, you know, a disparity with the way that like when Black women are killed versus when Black men are killed. I'm not going to take away that disparity. There's definitely a little bit of disparity on the way that it's highlighted. I can understand that. But at the same time, in this moment, there's a time and there's a place for every conversation to be had. This is not the time for that conversation right now. And my thing is, it would be different if she came from a different point. Like I said, I hear a lot of people like, you know, say they like use the hashtag like say her name, because a lot of people really didn't know who Breonna was. You know, a lot of people really didn't because of the whole George Floyd thing. So I do think that it is important that we make sure that we're highlighting Black women as well. Sandra Bland, making sure that we're making sure that Black women, we're not as, you know, targeted as much as you guys are, but we still are at the same time. And not only are we targeted, but we, more than anything, what we really need to talk about is the way that Black women, we have to deal with the repercussions of what happens after either a Black man is put in jail or after he is killed. Because who has to then hold everything up and who has to now be the backbone for every fucking body? It's us. So if anything needs to be talked about, that's what needs to be talked about. The repercussions of the shit that happens and what now falls on our shoulders.
If that's the case, bring up the Philando Castro, who got killed in front of his wife and his child. Right. Now his wife has to explain to his daughter what just happened to her father.
Mm-hmm. Even with George Floyd, the 17-year-old girl.
Mm-hmm. Somebody said earlier, oh, what about the 17-year-old girl? She didn't do anything. She was 17.
17.
And now she's receiving death threats because why you didn't do anything? She was 17.
I would never in my life expect no 17-year-old in that situation to do anything like that. That little girl, for the rest of her life, has to now be traumatized by that shit that she's seen. I will never in my life sit up there and blame her and say that she needed to step in. No, they needed to do their fucking job, and that's the problem. She now, and this is why I got so emotional on the last thing, because this little girl, I don't think people understand how trauma fucking works. This little girl will forever, not just now, not for a couple days, she will forever be traumatized by not only seeing that firsthand, but now being attached to this entire fucking situation.
For the rest of
her life.
It shouldn't have been nobody's responsibility on that street to do anything. They should have been doing their jobs correctly. That's the issue. That's the point. We shouldn't have to step in. We shouldn't have to.
That's the whole point of.
That's the whole point.
And that was my thing. When they first put out that picture of him kneeling on that cop's neck, they didn't show the other angle where it was 3 cops on that man. Right. And the one cop stood there. That one cop, them 3 other cops, that was your job to get him the fuck off of there. Yeah. Like when that video, that black cop, when that white cop pushed over that protester, she reprimanded him immediately. Push him away, no. Now you go. You go. That's what that's not our job. That's their job. You know damn well if you kneel on something, and people was doing the so-called George Floyd challenge. There was 3 people on that man's body. 3 people. One on his neck, one on his back, and one on his legs. You ever heard of something called anxiety? A panic attack? If that man said he couldn't breathe, he could not fucking breathe. Just as like that choke challenge they was doing years ago. You got something on somebody's neck. What make it make sense?
Right.
Make it make sense. Leave that little girl on. She's 17. You don't know what the fuck she's dealing with right now. She probably can't sleep, can't eat, can't function, can't think right. And now every time she see a police officer, it's going to take her back to that. Every time.
Need to be doing
it could be
that little girl.
Community day, and they have police there. Because you know when we have block parties, the police come and they park their cars on the end of the street so people can't get in. Right. Something simple as that can traumatize her. And that girl probably got PTSD. So,
oh my gosh, SpongeBob is gay.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No, I just seen it. It's trending on Twitter.
Yeah, SpongeBob is gay.
I mean, that makes sense.
Years ago?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Well, yeah, that makes all the sense in the world. But anyway, yeah. So, yeah, I just it's very, very, very frustrating. So yeah, anything y'all want to talk about that I ain't talk about?
Shout out to Jane Elliott. I just want to put that out there.
I love all her stuff.
You know who Jane Elliott is? She does a lot of experiments where she puts white people in a similar predicament as black people. Show them. Like I was watching one when she explained. She said, I want you to stand up if you would trade places with a black person.
Nobody stood up.
She said, I don't think y'all understood me, which cracked me up. She said, I don't think y'all understood me. Stand up if you would trade places with a black person right now. And because nobody stand up, she said, that goes to show me that you guys are aware of what's going on and you choose to do nothing.
Yeah, definitely the GOAT. She's been doing this for years too.
For years. Like I had a class.
When I was in college, like.
Yeah, I was just about to say when I was in college, shout out, I can't think of her name, but I swear I had a teacher that reminded me of her so much because I had a social justice class. And she used to be going in, and all of the videos that she used to be showing was like specifically about like, you know, like white privilege or whatever. And she used to be in there going off. And mind you, the college that I went to was like a predominantly white college. So I'm just sitting here looking around like, she talking to all y'all bitches. Like, and she had went in particular when she was talking about like the difference between like feminism and then womanism, you know, and the split between, you know, how when, you know, everything was going on, like, with women's rights and how Black women, how they felt left out, and how they had to come together on their own, because how y'all know white women, y'all know how white women fucking be.
When we start talking about our problems, then somehow they're the victim.
We have to shut up. We have to shut up. One person who did do that, to kind of go back to Nicki, I remember that whole thing with Taylor, and Taylor jumped out the window. I think Nicki had said something, about her not getting nominated for Video of the Year. And Nicki went on Twitter and was talking about, how she felt like, if it was somebody else, who had a big impact like that, like they would have got nominated. Now, do I think she should have got nominated for the impact of it? Yes. But I don't know about when. I didn't care for the video itself, but I understand what she was saying. The impact of that video was fucking huge. Like, that shit was everywhere. And then Taylor Swift jumped out the window, was like, oh, well, girl, if I win, you can come up and you can come and share the stage with me. Like, I don't understand why you always got to pit women, against each other. Like, we're all in this together. Bitch, no, we're not all in this together. This is not High School Musical.
Me and you are not the same, sis. Taylor, you're a tall, skinny, blonde white girl with blue eyes.
I will call Kid Fury on my phone and make.
No, forget calling Kid Fury. We got to call that other guy who went in on Carrie Hilson.
Brian B. Shout out to him, because Taylor Swift is a whole, like Kid Fury said. Taylor Swift is literally the walking embodiment of white privilege. Like, just.
Everybody always asks me, why don't you like Taylor Swift? Because I have a few friends that like her and like her music. I refuse. Like, that bitch is literally walking, talking, breathing privilege. Like, swear to God, I always go off on her about for the whole day.
Right, she is just, because she just so mediocre. Like, that's the thing. She's so mediocre, but she gets all the praise. Like, she's like Beyonce or something. Bitch, you don't do nothing. You went from being a country singer, but bitch, you from Philly. How does that work?
Wait, what?
She's from like one of the little suburbs right outside of Philly.
Yes, ma'am.
But you're a country singer, and then you went from being a country singer to somewhat like a pop singer. Like, I'm like, don't get it twisted. I think there's maybe like, I like old Taylor Swift, like when she was first coming out, kind of doing her country thing, and then I like the Trouble song, like I knew you were trouble when you walked in. That's it. But outside of that, and I heard that song enough, and it's catchy as shit. But other than that, I hate that bitch. She gets on my nerves.
Career is literally just, it's the face of privilege just because of her look.
Literally. She is a tall, like you said, she's a tall white woman with blonde hair.
Would accept. And so that's what she runs with. And so that's why she is where she is. You know what I'm saying? To me, I like, maybe
and Kanye gave her the sympathy. That's what it was. Kanye tipped the scale over with, giving her the white sympathy that she needed when he jumped up on that stage, which to this day, he wasn't fucking wrong, bitch.
He was not.
Iconic.
For real.
I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce
got that one.
Come on. You belong with me over single ladies? Over at that time, single ladies? Are you fucking serious? Single ladies was one of the first times that, like, when people was doing all them dances on YouTube, like when YouTube was first blowing the fuck up. Get you out of here. And one more thing before we get off Taylor Swift, she tries to copy off of Beyonce too much, and it pisses me off, because you're not gonna come for the queen. You could never come for the fucking queen, bitch. You could never in your lily white life ever come for the fucking queen. Bow the fuck down, bitch. Bow down.
Straight up culture appropriation at times too. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I cannot even begin how to tell you how that much that get under my skin.
You don't get it. Yeah, I hate it.
Try to do the music like Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? Or let's not even pinpoint it to Beyonce. She tried to do urban type music. You know what I'm saying? She tried to do the dancing.
Shake it off. That whole shake it off. That whole shake it off song.
That's not even you.
It's cringeworthy. It's so cringeworthy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not even like, and I'm not even one of those that's like, oh, like, don't branch off to nothing else. But no, like, you literally, you don't even look comfortable doing this. It looked forced. It looked like you doing it just because.
It's like when Miley had her nigga moment or whatever, her little nigga moment. It was out
Yes,
with Perkin and shit on Paula Patton's husband and shit.
Or Katy Perry. You know what I'm saying? That's another
Right.
one. Katy fucking Perry. Like, go sit your ass down.
Because you wanna know what it is?
Like,
Pop is literally the lead-in genre. So all of y'all pop girls, because like I literally did like a whole series like on this, like maybe 2-3 videos about like how like the pop sound kind of changed from like maybe like 2008, 9, 10, like when Lady Gaga and stuff like that was out, like that was like peak like pop music at the time. And then slowly but surely, like towards the late like 2011, 2012, it kind of started shifting more into hip hop. So those people who was doing pop, like you said, like Katy Perry, because when Katy Perry first came out, she's doing I kissed the girl and I liked it. Yeah, and everybody's doing the super pop song, but now pop is not, it's not super heavy anymore. So now they have no choice but to lean into what's popping, which is our shit. But like you said, there's a way to do it without it being forced. Because my thing is, as much as Black people were mad at Justin Timberlake right now, I know, but he did it right for the longest time. Like he was doing it the correct way. He was doing just enough R&B and just enough pop. Like the 2020 experience, that album,
that shit was bomb.
that shit's bomb as hell.
And there's people like that who it wasn't forced though. That's naturally his talent. He can sing. You know what I'm saying? That nigga sing.
Right.
Like he good. Like he dance, he sing, he's good. But then you got the Katy Perry who went from straight, you know what I'm saying, all pop music, I kissed the girl, to fucking hopping around the stage with fucking Migos.
Right. That whole thing was stupid. I don't know who thought that was a good idea. I'm telling you, one of these days, I promise, I'm gonna be a PR person because y'all artists really need some better PR people. Like, this is how I can tell there's no Black people on y'all PR teams because of the decisions that y'all make. Y'all make the dumbest decisions in the world. That if a Black person was your PR, they would never allow you to say certain things. They would never allow you to do some of the shit that y'all are doing. It's actually fucking ridiculous. But all right, let me just wrap this up here because we got like maybe 20 more minutes. Like, I want to touch on somebody. This is how we're gonna end every episode going forward. I'm gonna pick an artist that has like a lot of controversy around them, and if you feel like what you feel about that person, like in their totality. So we're gonna talk about Chris Brown for a quick second. So, you know, everybody kind of sort of has a problem with Chris Brown. So my personal opinion is that I feel like white people won't let Chris Brown be a pop star.
Right.
And I feel like that's partially his fault, partially theirs. The whole thing with Rihanna, I feel like we all know what happened. That was fucked up. My thing with Chris is he has continuously fucked up since then. Like, that's the thing. Like, not that big, but he has continuously done like stupid shit on his own. So I can understand. I don't know. I feel conflicted about Chris Brown because he says stupid shit all the time, and it bothers me. And he's, I don't know. I'm conflicted. How do y'all feel about Chris Brown?
I love Chris Brown.
I love his music.
I love like I feel like people be reaching for that man, like all the time, just be reaching for him, and like they won't let him. They like, I'm not saying like any like his past stuff that he did, especially that shit with Rihanna. I'm not saying none of that shit is, you know, is right. The shit wrong, but I feel like he been every time he try to go on some type of path of like some type of redemption, it's just he don't even get the chance. And then you got motherfuckers, those lighter skinned fellows who will do the same type of shit and then order under the table for them. But Chris Brown, you know what I'm saying? He does it, and it's like he cannot live that shit down. You know what I'm saying? Why can't he get the same fighting chance? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, my thing, like I said, with me personally with Chris Brown, it's not, I don't care about, I don't want to say I don't care, because clearly the thing with Rihanna happened. I'm going to be honest, a lot of, oh shit, people going to be mad at me when I say this, but I don't give a fuck, it's facts. When that whole thing with Rihanna and Chris Brown happened at first, I felt terrible for her. But as time went on, and I don't care what anybody says, Rihanna used that situation to her benefit. And when I say that, I mean, she was able to use that to flip her image. Because if anybody pays attention, after that whole situation with Chris Brown, that's when she flipped it into that's when she was going to the good girl gone bad era. She was able to kind of use that situation to flip it from her being like the pop kind of clean girl to the little bit more edgy girl, and at the time I didn't like it. Like at the time I hated the way that she was. I felt like manipulating the situation kind of to a degree. As I'm older now, I don't look at it. I just feel like she took like apples, lemons, and she made lemonade out of it. But at the time, I was definitely team Chris Brown because I'm like, yes, what he did was completely wrong. But I also feel like we're not hearing the whole side of the story. And I always felt like the only thing that always made me feel like that is because of the whole thing about biting. And I'm all like, you don't bite somebody unless a lot of times you don't bite unless it's like a reaction type of thing, like, oh, you did. And again, this is not to excuse nothing. This is not me excusing anything that he did because it's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying there was a point in time where I was definitely heavy Chris Brown, team Chris Brown.
Mm-hmm.
As time has gone on, past that situation, I've really only had problems with the shit that he himself has done, like in the mean and in between time. Like I don't like the whole way he handled that whole situation with Karrueche. Like that was very stalkerish. That was very, very, very stalkerish. And that shit wasn't cute. It wasn't cute. Like you see that meme of when he be like standing outside the club or whatever, and it's like when you think like we really broke up, like it's funny, but that's not really funny for real. Like that's scary and that's
really he was terrorizing her at one point, like you know what I'm saying?
Like
not even on no harm, but it was just, and I also feel like because he's young and he went through a heartbreak like that, like honestly, him and Rihanna was a thing, but him and Karrueche was a thing. You know what I'm saying? He made songs about Karrueche. He's still making songs about Karrueche.
When he said her name on that song, I promise you, it scared the shit out of me. And I don't know why to this day it scared me when he said her name, but my whole heart dropped. I'm like, why would he say her name like that? Like, what the fuck's wrong with her? But in general, but like I said, I try to work with Chris Brown because I understand he's a work in progress, and I understand like when you like become famous and rich like that young of an age that you're gonna have like some bumps in the road and some issues. But I feel like ever since he's had his daughter, he's kind of been cooling and chilling a little bit. Other than that stupid shit he was saying about the girls and the like dark skinned girls and stuff like that and hair and all of that. Outside of that stupid bullshit that he was doing. I fuck with Chris. Like I said, I feel like these white people won't let him be a pop star.
Right.
With the Rihanna thing,
all the potential.
with the Rihanna thing, not to say just forget about it, but stop crucifying this man because when I say I don't know how many times he apologized, how many times he tried to make the right offer, and like you said, she took it and it helped her career.
Mm-hmm.
It did. People might not want to hear that, but it's a fact. It did.
No. I always thought that. Because, like you said, the good girl gone bad, and now she's Russian roulette and man down and all these other songs that she made. It's like,
all right, sis.
What the fuck was this energy in the car, my mom? Like you said, for somebody to bite you, nobody, unless they're a baby or something wrong with them mentally, no offense, nobody's going to just attack you and the first thing that they do is bite you.
Right.
So I need to know everything.
Did you guys see him like on his Netflix like little special explain that whole fight? Did you guys see that before?
No.
Okay. Yeah, you need to go and Google, like go on YouTube because it should be up there. And he literally explains, because he did a documentary on Netflix maybe a year or two ago. He literally explains like exactly how the fight happened. And he said that he took responsibility for everything it is that he did. But he explained that the reason that he bit her is because I think like she grabbed his balls or something like that. And so in response to that, he bit her.
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
I think it's something like that.
Like, what do you expect a man's reaction to be when you grab their balls? If somebody grabs my nipple, I'm going to do everything I can to get you the fuck off me.
Right.
So that's the most sensitive part of their body.
Right.
What do you think? They're going to do anything in their power to get you off of them. That's why I said I was mad at Chris Brown. I wasn't even disappointed in him.
Yeah, I was so hurt. I was hurt.
But at the same time, if you ever heard the story of how he was raised, he grew up in a household of abuse.
Yes.
Not to say that that's an excuse.
No.
But people replicate what they see.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he saw as a child, was his stepfather beating on his mother. Not saying that it's right, not giving him an excuse for what he did. But understand, I don't know everything that happened in their relationship. That was just the first thing that got publicized. You don't know what the fuck was
Right?
happening
What's
behind
happening?
closed doors.
Closed doors.
You don't know what the fuck the shit that she could have been doing or he could have been doing prior to that, after that, and everything.
Right, and it was never made public that she was always getting her ass beat by him. That was never a thing, and he's been in plenty of relationships after that
Right.
or before that wasn't even an issue. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he's
Exactly.
just an abusive person. I think that situation just got out of hand, and then they he did some wrong shit. He did some wrong shit. But I think he been on that path of like redeeming himself and like
Since
you
then.
know what I'm saying? And like people just keep reaching and reaching and reaching for that. And then like even like he just I don't know, just even everything that he does, every single thing that he does is always getting crucified. Always. I'm just like, yo, this man, he has not had a chance to live nothing down since that whole situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then with him and Karuchi, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the full story,
Mm-hmm.
and you know how I feel about Karuchi Jalissa. I don't care for Krispy Kreme donut.
Krispy
Or
Kreme, trash
I
bitch.
like her. I'm here for
She
her.
seems like a
I like
sweet
her.
enough
She
girl.
like
She seems like a sweet person, but when she did that interview with who was it, Oprah,
Yana,
Yana,
Yana fixed my life. That shit was a
my
hot.
thing is this:
That was,
tell everything. That's my thing with Rihanna's situation with him, and tell the whole thing. Like I read some
after wait, hold on, real fast. After Rihanna had that interview with Oprah explaining everything that happened, that's when I started fucking with Rihanna again. When she did that interview with Oprah and she was honest as fuck about everything that happened, like between them, that's when I could fuck with her. But like you said, Karuchi wasn't being honest during that interview. She didn't want to say anything at all.
no, and I love Iyanla. I love her. Like I love that woman. And if I have a date or I can meet her, I swear to God, I will drop everything I'm doing to have a conversation with her. But I want to know the whole thing. I'm only getting her side of the story of what happened. You should have had both of them on the show, interviewed him, interviewed her, and let the whole like because there's two sides, there's three sides to every story. It's your version, my version, and then there's the truth. Not to say you fully lying or I'm fully lying, but in between, there's the truth of what actually happened. And the thing with Chris Brown and Rihanna, what happened that led up to for it to get to that point where it got physical?
Yeah, like I said, go and watch that. When you're done, go on YouTube and type that in. And like I said, he explains everything that happened. He explains like why they was arguing because it was about watching. He'll explain everything. But like, yeah, Chris Brown. I don't know why all of the Browns always have trouble, but Chris Brown kind of reminds me of like Bobby Brown a little bit, like with them always having like I'm just saying like the issues that they both had like in the public, like with their relationship, like drug use and stuff like that. Like, and I was kind of similar. I felt the same way with Bobby. It wasn't all Bobby's fault as much as people always.
And that's what I like about that movie is because it's like all you were ever taught that Bobby Brown was on drugs and he hooked Whitney on drugs and he was abusive to her and it showed. Whoa.
That was not the
His
case.
own brother came out a long time ago and said he is the first one who gave her coke when she was like 16, 17 years old. And he's the reason. He used to say on the last, or if y'all watched the Whitney documentary that came out like a year or two ago, he sat there and talked about, he said, Bobby compared to us was a lightweight. He used to say that. He was like, me and Whitney, we used to be going in. He said, Bobby could not keep up with us. Like Bobby did it, but not as much as me and Whitney did. Like he was a lightweight.
That's what I'm saying.
Like me and
saying. Growing up, what you were, what it was portrayed, like I was on some shit when she got on that stage and she was about that big. I thought, oh shit,
right?
Smoked her kneecaps off. Rest I love
Whitney Nippy Houston. Shout out to her.
But you could tell, and there's like Bobby. He had his issues. He had his demons. He tried to help her get clean. He got,
and that's what I'm saying. This is what I always say all the time.
That's not what is told. Like that's my. I need the whole story before I judge and pick a side. I need the whole story.
This is how I look at it, and as fucked up as this might seem, this is how I've always looked at it. I don't want to say I don't believe anything, but Bobby has to be telling the truth to some point about him wanting to get clean because no shade. Whitney passed away from a drug overdose, okay? And he is still alive and he's clean. So he has to be telling the truth in some type of way about the disparity when it came to them doing drugs. He has to be telling the truth. There's no way in hell that he's lying about that. He's clean now. And unfortunately, she's no longer here with us. So I used to hate how they always used to make it seem like Bobby was lying. Like even how they did him when it came to the funeral. Like there's no reason why him or his kids, because even like if y'all used to watch like being Bobby Brown, like Bobby Brown kids was like Whitney kids. Like she used to treat those kids like that was hers. And to be like, oh, they can't come. Like them kids crying on them outside. That's one of the saddest things I've ever seen.
Her family. I completely blame her family for her death and blame her family for Christina.
Pat Houston.
She could suck a big old dick.
You could suck a big old dick, Pat Houston. I'm sick and tired of you. And you know what, Sissy? You ain't cleaning all of this, Sissy. I don't care what nobody say. Sissy Houston ain't cleaning all of this. Because the way that she, if y'all know about her and damn it, what's the woman's name that Whitney was messing around with? What's her name? Robin. Robin, the way that you used to treat Robin, Sissy, you trash about that. You knew damn well that Whitney and Robin was dealing with each other, and you went ahead and you made her life a living hell because of it. You made her life a living hell, Sissy. You ain't shit for that.
Just like they did to the Bobby Christina's boyfriend.
That's a fact.
Just like they did him. And I'm not saying he's innocent in it. But y'all dragged that man through the mud. When Whitney treated him, Whitney let that man come live in her home.
Exactly.
Y'all, and I feel like y'all killed Bobby Christina because y'all wanted the money. Pat was always about protecting the money. You want to sit here and compare your daughter to Bobby Christina? They cousins. That shouldn't even be a comparison. They're family.
Right.
Like, I don't like that bitch. And when I was watching the documentary, I fuck you. Pat, you're not even family. You married in. So who the fuck are you?
And the way that they're now doing Whitney, like y'all seen the hologram and stuff that they're trying to do, the little hologram tour, like
it gotta stop.
What? For what?
They need to.
For what?
They need to. Let these people rest in motherfucking peace. We understand. We love what they did for the music. We love what they did on this earth. We love them.
You see Michael Jackson family coming up with a fucking hologram? No, because they're going to let that man rest in peace.
That is, first of all, that's just creepy to me. That's just so creepy.
So
like, we can't sit here
I'm not paying to the same price to see a live person as I am paying to see a fucking hologram. Are you stupid?
That's a fact. Like, that's not.
Because you need one person to trip over a fucking cord, the whole show is done. You need one difficulty and the whole show is done.
Okay.
People rest legacy rest. Like, that's it.
And my whole thing is Whitney's estate not making enough money for right now? Or like, come on, like, come on. Like, Whitney's estate ain't making enough money right now for y'all to be fucking okay. Her daughter's no longer damn here, okay? Because and I'm sorry, quiet as kept. That's low key Pat Houston's fault too. Did y'all watch the reality show after Whitney passed or whatever with all of them? A mess, just a mess. That's probably on YouTube somewhere too. Like it was a mess. They literally shot that show a month and a half after Whitney passed away, and y'all got Bobby Christina all up in this camera. Like, I could tell from that moment on going forward, like, for y'all to even have a reality show that fast after that woman passed away, that's trifling.
Y'all wanted to pull that girl off of life support, and if it wasn't for her father stopping y'all, she'd have been dead faster than she died.
Can't wait to get your hands on that money, Pat, huh?
That's what it was.
That's what it is.
Trifling. But yeah, that's it. Anything else y'all want to touch on or talk about?
They need to make a surviving Pat Houston. I just want to put that out.
I'm here for it. I'm fucking here for it. Yeah.
Can we make a part 2? I don't know if y'all got time. I got time because I got some other things I need to get off my chest.
All right, let me are you good, Milla?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, let me.
It's Saturday.
Oh, fuck it. Go ahead. I was going to end it, but go ahead. Keep going. What else? Go ahead. Fuck it. Keep going. What else?
Okay, so I know we brought this up previously, but I'm still watching it, and I know it's old. But the Surviving R. Kelly.
Oh yeah, she's working her way through it, y'all. She ain't see all of it.
Slowly working. I'm on part 2. I finished the whole first season. I'm on part 2. I'm 30, just to put my age out there. My mother, the first time my mother said I would never take my child to an R. Kelly concert. People took their children to our y'all. I'm sorry. The part when the daughter they met R. Kelly to help the daughter with her the little the dark skinned girl. I forgot her fucking name. Azriel. Yeah. Her parents took her, got R. Kelly's number that she can't be around you without us. The first time sis left and went to the hotel and was by herself with the hotel with R. Kelly, shut the fuck down. Oh, she was making threats to the bitch. I wish you would. That's would have been my mother's song. Go ahead, try it. I double D dare you. Try
your ass up. Snatch your ass up real fast.
To watch that woman go to that hotel and get her child.
Oh yeah. And the shit that he was doing to her. Now, I'm not gonna lie, that whole storyline blew me for real, because if y'all seen, like, because you seen how she used to look, right, versus how she looks now. So you into some whole other type of shit then.
My thing is this. Everybody needs to be charged.
Oh yeah.
That's a fact.
You had this record executive saying, "Yeah, I saw all the beds and that was a red flag for you."
And
you did nothing.
The one girl who was a backup singer. Y'all was on the bus when the door flew open and y'all saw him having sex with Aaliyah when she was like 14, 15. That
No. The backup singer was the same age as Aaliyah at the time. She was the same age.
But you don't say nothing.
He married. Wasn't he married to
Aaliyah?
Yes, he married her. He married her.
Forged her fucking birth certificate.
It's on there. Yeah.
Like, I understand he did it. He was the one who physically did it. And I'm not trying to.
No, you're not lying. Everybody else is culpable because somebody was paying for these plane tickets. Somebody was watching these girls, because they even talked about how they kind of sort of had like madams that was like teaching them. And even actually the one girl that was on there talking about how she did the threesome, how she was doing threesomes and ended up doing the threesome with him and the girl that was on the tape, and she didn't find out later that she was like 14 or 15 or whatever.
That could be the music industry.
It's disgusting. It's still disgusting.
Yeah.
It's nasty.
Then the music industry need to be changed.
It's disgusting.
Renewal.
I'm not fucking nobody for nothing. You hear me?
It's really up. It's about that dollar.
Listen, at the end of the day, everybody is not, and this is no shade. No, actually, it is shade. Everybody's not a Christina Milian. Everybody's not out here fucking for tracks. And I'm sorry, that's what I've heard multiple times. So that's what I'm gonna go with as far as Christina Milian. I'm sorry, she didn't bounce from producers to writers, penis to penis to penis to penis, and she still ain't get nowhere. Okay, but everybody ain't no that Christina
music stars and all that. I watch all of Law and Order SVU, so I know they know it ain't just music. I know it ain't just music. What I'm saying is everybody should be held accountable and not just that person.
Not just the one person, because everybody they sat and watched while all of that shit happened.
Exactly.
It's disgusting.
They handed these girls over to R. Kelly. They literally said, "Okay, baby, go ahead." You know what I'm saying? Like, they need to be held accountable. That's it.
Everybody needs cool, because like you said, then somebody was booking these tickets, somebody was watching these girls, somebody was making sure that all the tracks was covered across the board. That's why everybody in this motherfucker needs to be fucking arrested. Everybody needs to be charged across the board. It was too many people that was complicit across the board with this shit. Point blank.
That's my whole point of it. They all gay. Possibly. It's a lot of them like little boys. Somebody commented that. Sucking dicks for deals. Hey, I'm not sucking dicks for deals.
People gotta do what they gotta do.
I'm
As
not.
long as it's consenting, I don't care. If it's a consenting thing and everybody, if as long as people it's consenting and of age, do what it is that you want to do. If you feel like that's what you got to do,
You have to be of
but
age.
we're not. But we're not talking about art. We're not talking about girls who were of age. All right, hey. Don't get my video. Don't get my video flagged. So watch the language in the comments because my shit will get flagged. Don't do that. But yeah, it's crazy.
Prosecute this man. Yeah, prosecute him to the fullest extent. But everybody else around him needs to be prosecuted as well. That's my issue.
No. That's what needs to happen. Like I said, that producer man. What'd you say?
Oh, weird.
I know I can hear me. Oh my God.
Yeah, what is that?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
She'll come back in.
But that was just that I just had to get that off my chest because, as I said, I've been slowly but surely watching it, and it's sickening. It's sickening.
It's
And my issue is the amount of time Bill Cosby got. This shit was when he was supposedly drugging and raping these women. I had to, talk to my grandmother, and because she's in her 70s, and she's like, they was doing that type of shit back in that day.
But he was wrong. I'm sorry. He was wrong. Okay, this is my whole thing when it comes to Bill Cosby. I am tired of everybody trying to use him. Wait, it says her stuff's not working.
There she go.
Hello? You hear us?
Yeah, here now. Okay. It was doing something weird. It was like making some noise or something.
I don't know. Let me know if anything I could end it and come back later. But
no, it's good now. I think it was me.
Okay. My whole thing with Bill is like I was tired of people, number one, kept trying to use him as an excuse to be like, oh, they trying to take down the black man whole type of situation.
No.
That irks me because at the end of the day, if a black man is wrong, he's wrong. I'm not fucking defending some man just because he's black. If he's wrong, he's fucking wrong. Same thing. Right. I don't give a fuck that he's black. He's fucking wrong. Period. Mm-hmm. Just like Harvey Weinstein is wrong. Now, people might be right as far as like the attention and stuff that it might be getting, but the way me personally, I'm not gonna look less at because maybe like,
no, that's why I was going with it.
Let me give him some more leeway. He's trash.
That's why I was going with it. Like if you're gonna prosecute the same across the board.
Across the board.
But like I said, but Harvey Weinstein now he already got indicted on a whole bunch of stuff. He's going to jail because he already got guilty on a whole bunch of shit, and he has more. I think he has like 2 or 3 more cases that's against his ass. Like I said, the whole surviving Jeffrey Epstein. You see. Did y'all watch Surviving Jeffrey Epstein? They're bringing Prince Andrew over here. I just
started watching it.
They're bringing Prince Andrew over here because they're reopening some of them cases. Because Prince Andrew, if you watch it, Prince Andrew is connected to a couple of the cases that Jeffrey Epstein was like a part of.
You know who else is connected to some of these cases?
Chris Tucker?
No. Donald Trump?
Yeah. Because I seen the whole thing. Donald Trump, yep.
And this motherfucker's running the country. Mm-hmm. Oh my God! I was just talking about this to somebody. Like, this is a shame. This is a shame.
Y'all seen that? Them legal documents they put out about him paying off all them little ass girls that 13, 14. I believe it. I believe it. Mm-hmm. I believe it.
That's how I'm in the beginning of it, right? I'm probably at like episode 2 or something. And
it's gonna get deeper.
It was him messing with these little girls. They felt uncomfortable. Was about to go tell, and he was handing them money.
$200.
Like, what the fuck?
Trash.
I'm saying across the board, but it needs to be. They need to be publicized just as much as R. Kelly and Bill Cosby. That was my whole argument that I was getting.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I don't support pedophilia at all.
At all.
I don't get
ain't no underneath the jail.
Consent. You cannot consent. So I don't get because you said, oh, you have to be a willing participant.
Exactly. Trafficking kids and shit.
You have to be with that situation, you have to be able to consent, and you cannot consent if you're not of legal age. These are kids. And I think in Chicago, it's a little. I think in Chicago, the legal consent age is 17. I think that's what they said on the documentary.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's like 17.
And that's why he were flying these girls out to Chicago and keeping them in Chicago till they turned 18, and then taking them to his house in Atlanta.
Let me say something about Aaliyah's parents. Aaliyah's parents, let me tell you something. Y'all can deny as much as y'all want to, but the facts are the facts. Okay? And at the end of the day, they just don't want to be looked at as bad parents, which fine,
Right.
I understand. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. It happened. It happened. Period. And y'all keep, instead of what y'all should be doing is advocating for y'all daughter and other people versus taking a back seat and trying to act like nothing happened at all. It's trifling.
Trifling.
It's just wrong. And I'm not. I don't have children. It's just certain things that growing up wasn't allowed that these parents did with their children. That it's like, wow. And then you want to make. Oh, he's
wait. I can't hear you.
It's doing some sound. It's doing like some choppy sound or something.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Look, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna end it, and then I'm gonna send y'all another link to come back on.
Okay.
All right. Thank y'all. We'll be back. Give us like 5 minutes.